say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I'm your host, Tony Love, and we're about to hit it off again today. You know it was coming, though, don't you? You know it was coming, you know. I couldn't wait for this one. I had this planned today. I was going to do an early one, though, too. This is going to be an early banger, you know, for a live stream and things. Also, once again, I welcome you all to the live stream and things like that. Where my little applause? I got a big one too. There y'all go. Welcome, you know. So welcome to the chat, man. And we're going to talk about it, man. Ooh, man. The Southern Poverty, man, Law Center. Oh, my goodness, man. It's the stuff that we were saying all along. You remember when a lot of us conservatives were saying that the Democrats, right? And the KKK, we've been saying this stuff. This ain't alleged. Let me go ahead and remove this flag. I keep forgetting to do that. Okay, so this is not alleged, ladies and gentlemen. This is basically what it is, you know what I mean? So we're going to walk it down today, boy. It's a beautiful thing, boy. We're going to walk it down, man. It's going down, and we're going to walk it down, though, you know? So once again, thank you for the like. I appreciate it. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boy, we got a lot to cover here today, boy, a lot to cover and things. So, yeah, so I welcome you guys into the chat and things. And let me go ahead on here and look at this stuff as we're about to get into it, man. So, yeah. In fact, let me do this, too. I got to cue this up. There we go. And we're going to go into this a little bit as well, too, you know. The acting Attorney General, Todd Blanche, right, you know, announced the indictments against the Southern Poverty Law Center, right, and things. So we're going to get into it. This is going to be a banger, man. I told my friend this is going to be fire. Got to get that sound bite. Fire, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, but this is exactly what it is. So they're in serious trouble, as I said before, you know, because you notice more and more and more information, right, that is steady being exposed. Now, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they are doing forensics. They said they were going to be doing investigation on the whole DNC. And now we are starting to see more. Before there can be actual arrest, what they're doing is dotting all their I's and crossing all their T's on the MAGA Trump administration, right? And that's exactly why you want to do it. Trump is a builder. He's a project real estate developer, so he understands business, and it has to be done right. You want to make sure that it's irrefutable, that it cannot be disputed whatsoever. This ain't no allege. This is not allegations. This is what it is, right? And with this, the Dems are already in trouble anyway. And this is another fuse, right, to the big explosion that we're about to see. And it's perfectly timed all the way up to the election, to the midterms, man, and things. And I appreciate the likes too, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to get into the comments too. I have not forgotten. But on this channel, where we stick to the facts, and I may not be perfect delivering it, but I'm trying to get better, I don't have a law degree, nor do I have a 4-year degree, but that's okay, you know what I'm saying? All we're doing is just speaking and keeping it simple, right? This is not Wall Street stuff, right? This is what it is. But I got to throw that out there anyway, right? So without further ado, let's go into my notes and my talking points first, and then we're going to play some of the video, and then I'm going to look at the comments as well, too. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys for showing up, and we're about to show out. Here we go. Let me see here. Put this down here and get this out my way. There we go. All right. So let me see here with my notes here. The Southern Poverty Law Center, better known as the SPLC. Man, I've been on this story for over a few days, just digesting it, and things like that. But it says here, for decades, the SPLC has positioned itself as America's watchdog against hate, right? They published the famous hate map. And this is, you know what? Let's do this here. I'm just going to put that, before I go any further, let me put that hate map up here, because it's more impactful, when I throw the memes and stuff up. So let me go ahead and do that here and just go and get that. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring the camera back to myself here. So don't worry, I'm you know what I'm saying, I just want to show this for people coming in the room. So this is basically what it is. Here's the hate map. You see the hate map? Ooh, the hate map, man. Boy, they ain't gonna have a leg to stand on, man. I tell you, they get quoted. They get quoted by every major news outlet, and they've built a massive war chest. Look how much money they done put together. 700 million, right? We're not talking billion. 700 million in assets, right? At one point. But behind the headlines, they are very, different? It's a very different story, right? Inflated numbers, questionable tactics, right? Ideology bias, right? And millions of dollars sitting in offshore accounts, right? While they lecture the rest of us about justice. We always known this, with us over here on the MAGA right, we always been calling them out as being the racists that they are anyway. Ku Klux Klan, hatred, and all the rest of this stuff. So we're going to go and dive into it. So I'm going to walk you through, right, what is the SPLC's actually is, and how it operates, and why you should be skeptical every time you see their label on a individual or a group. Let's get into it, right? Here it is. The origin story of the golden reputation. Here we go. The SPLC was founded in 1971, ladies and gentlemen, by civil rights lawyer Morris Dees, right, and Julian Bond. Their early work was genuinely impressive. They took on the Ku Klux Klan and won major cases that bankrupt violent racist organizations, right? In the 70s and the 80s, they were widely, right, respected across the political spectrum. And I appreciate the likes. Thank you, guys. Even today, if you only look at the old Klan cases, it's easy to see why they built such a strong band, right? brand. I mean, not band, but brand. Here we go. They raised huge sums of money for donors who believed they were still fighting for the same fight. Isn't that something, ladies and gentlemen? They raised a lot of money. They raised a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, with this organization, right? But here's where the story changes. By the late 1990s, and especially after 9/11, the SPLC began expanding its definition of hate, right? Dramatically. It started as a fight, actually violent extremism slowly morphed into labeling mainstream conservative and even some of the classical liberal positions as hate. And this is done by purpose, on purpose. You know what I'm saying? This organization protects the Ku Klux Klan. It protects these other, and there's people that have been funded by these people. Remember I mentioned earlier, they raised over a war chest of money, $700 million, right? This is another fund. We might as well call this another fund, right? And things. And they didn't want you to really know about it. But we knew the history of the Democratic Party. We always said a leopard never changes spots. They steal that leopard. Dixiecrat Democrats, all this party switch, it never happened. They are the same racists then as they are today. Like I always say, who band rides on the Democrat Party the most? It's the blacks. And there's a few others, Jews and others, right? But for the blacks, they have got nothing, right? And they're okay with it. Now it's coming out about the SPLC, right? They cannot dispute it. So here it is. So with the hate map, right, and labeling machine, they bring us, thank y'all for the likes, they bring us to their most powerful tool, the hate map. Every year, the SPLC releases a list of hate groups and hate incidents, right? Sounds serious, right? Oh, my goodness. They look at the numbers. So let's look at the numbers, right? Because they looking and we looking at the numbers. In recent years, they've listed over 1,000 active hate groups. That sounds terrifying until you dig in. They count things like a single person group, right, that hasn't done anything in years. Local chapters of the same organizations count multiple times. Conservative Christian organizations, you know they've been targeted, that simply believe in marriage. It's between a man and a woman and a man and a woman. You know what I'm saying? You notice that these organizations have been targeted, right? And on purpose, calling them the hate group when we already know who was behind it originally. What about immigration enforcement groups, right? Let us say ICE. Oh my goodness, boy. Even some Jews or Jewish or Muslim organizations, they disagree with. So here it is again, right? This is why we got all this anti-sentiment in regards to the Jews already, you know? Look at all this stuff, right? A famous example, they labeled the Family Research Council, right, or better known as a FRC, a mainstream conservative Christian advocacy group, or an anti-LGBT hate group, right? Here it is again. In 2012, a gunman actually cited the SPLC's labeling when he walked into the FRC headquarters and shot a security guard. Some of you guys may remember that, maybe not. They've also labeled people like the Aryan, right? I mean, not Aryan, but the actual Ayan Hishar Ali and Masjid Nawaz, right? And even the UK's, right? Quilliam Foundation, right? Let's see if that's pronounced that right. Let me see here for a minute. Let me see and let it speak and let it say. Go on and say it.
Quilliam.
Quilliam, okay. Foundation as an anti-Muslim extremist, right? So here it is. I think I may have his name here, but I'm going to have it to say it anyway, though. I'm somewhat good about pronouncing some of these Muslim names or whatever. Let's see it.
Majid Nawaz.
Okay. So there it is. Majid Nawaz, right? A liberal Muslim reformer successfully sued them and forced an apology and a settlement, right? So the pattern is clear. So once again, not everybody that's a Muslim is a terrorist, though, but the ones that speak out against the left and so forth, guess what? They'll cite them as being a terrorist, being a hate group. They did the same thing with the Christian, right? If you're a Christian national, look at what they did to Charlie Kirk. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the same group that had a lot to do with his death. And I'm just saying, in my opinion, because it sounds very fishy, right? Anybody, right, that is a conservative, right, or disagrees with the DNC and all the rest of this stuff, right? Here they come, right? They're going to page you. And this is what this organization does. It protects the hatred. We're talking about people that are racist, an organization. And look at them. I just already read to you guys what they're about, right? So let's go down a little bit further, though, right? If you disagree with the, here it is, the SPLC, Progressive, Worldwide, or Immigration. Sorry about that. She always call me when I'm in the middle of something, man. Always bad timing. Don't y'all hate that? So once again, the SPLC, Progressive World View on Immigration, Race, Gender, and Islam, you're at risk of being added to the list. And that's what they do, right? Where's my detractors at right now? Because this information is so upfront in your face. You can't deny it. You can't sit up here and try to cape for these guys and saying, oh, yeah, they don't have anything to do with the Ku Klux Klan and all that. I even did another research, and it's being tied to the DNC, man. I mean, this is exactly what it is. So let's go ahead and get into it a little further. The money, Poverty and Law Center, right? Question mark. Now, let's talk about the finances, right? Because we always got to follow the money with these things, because this is where it gets really uncomfortable. The Southern Poverty Law Center, right, is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, $700 million to be precise. And one point, they had over 700 million in assets, yet they still sent out desperate sounding fundraising emails claiming they are always on the verge of running out of money. Sound like the DNC, same thing, same operation, right? Boy, I tell you, man, 2019, their own staff revolted. Employees accused leadership of racial discrimination, sexual harassment inside of the organization. Morris Dees, right, was fired, admin, the scandal, right? So here it is. He was fired for the scandal. Even more interesting, right? The SPLC has parked large sums of money in the Cayman Islands and other offshore accounts. We already heard this stuff, right? A poverty law center, right? With money in the Cayman. Why are you putting money in the Cayman Islands unless you don't want the government and other people to touch it, right? That's why I'm telling you guys. You guys know this. I ain't telling you nothing that you don't know, right? But we know as conservatives on the right that this is a criminal operation, and criminals protect criminals, right? This is what it's all about. They cannot cape, they cannot hide, and they cannot back this stuff up, right? And we're going to get down to it, you know? So let that sink in just for a minute, right? Offshore, right? Protecting their assets, right? There it is. And they have been one of the biggest problems in America, right? Because they cite good people that love America as a racist, a hater, and non-American. They've been doing this far too long, and karma is a mother, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so here it is. They pay their top executives very healthy, 6 figures and even 7-figure salaries, right? But they can sit up here and talk about Trump all the time, right? Trump we already know how he made his money, right? In fact, he inherited a lot of it because his father did the right and responsible thing, buying up all that real estate back in the turn of the century in, Queens and so forth, right? There's no secret about that. But here it is here. They over here, these executives, man, and this is the pattern that we see with a lot of these companies anyway, right? Meantime, critics point out they spent relatively little on actual legal work compared to how much they raised. They done raised all this money, but yet and still, right? Where's the work with these people, right? Oh my goodness, man. Why does it matter today? Here's why, ladies and gentlemen. This should concern every American, whether you on the left or whether you on the right. The SPLC, ladies and gentlemen, is treated as an authoritative, okay, say this here, because I get a little tied tongue on certain things, though, but that's all right. They're going to try to beat me up, but I'm not worried about it. I just try to bring
authoritative.
Authoritative. There we go. Neutral sources by major corporations for DEI and hiring decisions. Oh my goodness. DEI and hiring decisions, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the same group that was funding these people, right? What about the schools and universities? Oh my goodness, boy, it's just getting deep. This stuff is, as I'm digging deeper, I'm discovering more and more. Wow, this has been the hidden enemy all this time. This is the biggest thing since the U.S. AID fund, right? I tell you, man, because we weren't never supposed to know about this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because criminals protect criminals, and that's exactly what it is. This is an operation, right? This is a heist. This is, if you ever saw that movie and stuff, not The Score, but the other one, Ocean's 11. This is a major, major Ocean's 11, man. And we all have been duped. We have been fooled to think that, so-and-so fighting injustice and social justice when they've been back. Boy, I tell you, man, look at this, man. Schools and universities, law enforcement and FBI in the past, right? Oh, my goodness. Remember I said before, the criminals, they're all in the law enforcement. They're all in the schools and education and DEI and all this other stuff. This is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, that we weren't getting anywhere. It was just an illusion. I mean, FBI people never really did real work, right? Because they were always inside of the building. They never went out there and really fought crime, right? I mean, we already know it. Since Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, since he have taken it over, the FBI's reputation has been restored, right? Same thing with the CIA, right? We got the DOJ. They're now being respected, right? As opposed to before. Whose watch is that on? That was on Joe Biden's. Who else watch was that? Big Ear Obama, right? Bush's, right? Let's go ahead and name them, right? Because they ran a very, very SHITTY operation purposely to protect the criminals, right? This is why we never seen any action. They wasn't warring up against the cartels. They were all part of it. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, now the racist stuff. Here it is. Tech companies. Oh my goodness. For content moderation. Oh my goodness, man. Boy, do they have a leg to stand on, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely not. When an organization with clear ideology bias get to decide what is hate, and this is important, ladies and gentlemen, it is a enormous power to shape public discourse, right, and even silence debates. We should all oppose the actual neo-Nazi Klansmen and violent extremists, right? But we should also oppose any organization that cheapens the word hate, right? By applying to millions of normal Americans who simply hold center, right, or traditional views. Yeah, because they made the whole word conservative look ugly, right? And for some of you that are on the left, you are caught up in what we call brainwashing, right? Because when you have been conditioned to think that on the right is the problem with racism and so forth, but it have always been coming from the left with these social justice things and all the rest of it. It's all phony and fake. This is why we never got anywhere with this stuff. They're just collecting money. They collect money with these phony operations, ladies and gentlemen. So here it is. So we over here talking about it, man. And I just want you guys to basically be able to chime in on this type of stuff. But this is exactly what it is. Donations and political spending. The SPLC, you should know what that is now, the Southern Poverty Law Center, right? Employees, executives, right? And affiliates, right? The PACs, right? Boy, via its 501c4, right? That's the heading that they filed up under, which is a nonprofit organization, which I do believe, right? Action fraud, right? Overwhelmingly support Democratic candidates and causes, right? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It says right here that overwhelmingly they support Democratic candidates and causes, right? So this is all linked. This, Soros, Eric Kessler, all of them, right? Antebellum and all the rest of them. All this stuff, right? Boy, I'm telling you, man, this is a big web, a big operation, a big syndicate of criminals supporting criminals, man. And they protect criminals as well, too. This is why trying to get a deal when you got, look at it right now. What you think all the lawfare is all about, right? Look at, these old rotten judges and things like that. Every time we try to prosecute big Letitia James and all the rest of them, well, look what ended up happening. Because criminals protect criminals. She's guilty as sin. She needs to be arrested. She needs to be behind bars. James Comey, Adam Schiff, all of them need to be locked up for what they did. But you got the damn judge that's over here blocking it, right? Because criminals, what? Protect criminals. So as we go down, though, talking about this stuff, so here it is, right? And let me see here. So where was I at? So we're talking about overwhelmingly support Democrat candidates and causes. In recent cycles, nearly 100% of their tracked political contributions went to Democrats. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. It's what we always been saying. But you got people on the left, and then you got to keep in mind, these people are paid. So they don't know anything about what they're doing. They just they in it for the check. Just like they go out there with the no kings and stuff, that's been busted out. It's a fake, it's not even a real, you know what I'm saying? It's not even a real protest, right? Because they're just going out here and they're getting paid, man. What is it, like $200 to go out there and protest? Man, this is crazy, man. So the SPLC Action Fund PACs. So the SPLC formed entitlees, all right? Entitles like, the New Southern Leader PACs and New Southern Majority Super PACs, which have made independent, right, expenditures favoring Democrat, right, priorities and candidates. Once again, this is how they can stack the house in the past. This is why with the fake, phony elections, that Virginia thing, they had a mail-in ballot again. They still got the Dominion ballot machines running too. They protect criminals, what? Protect criminals, right? This is not about reform. You got to understand, this is why we got so much pushback coming from their BS party, they jackass party, right? They racist Ku Klux Klan party, and they got this organization like the Southern Poverty Law Center and stuff where they're intertwined with each other. There ain't no separation. They all intertwined. Criminals protect criminals. Here it is. And we're going to go and expose more of this, though, too. Shared advocacy and influence. Here we go. Let's go in and talk about it. The SPLC has aligned closely with progressives' causes, right? Talking about the progressive causes, because they are progressives, on immigration, race, the LGBTQ, right, and other issues, hate monitoring, right, that often target conservative Republicans. Oh my goodness. So they had this is a think tank. This is an operation, ladies and gentlemen, and they have went after people that have conservative, loud voices and stuff. You seen when they went after President Trump, when they invaded Mar-a-Lago and stuff, when he wasn't even the president no more. You seen what happened. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the same organization, right? But they had to send in, who was it, the FBI to go in there and do this when they were corrupt under Biden and basement Obama, because Biden wasn't really running anything. I call him basement Obama because he was in the basement running running the United States. And we all know this, man. Come on now. And that's my personal opinion, right? During the Democrat administration, right? Example, the Biden era. The SPLC had more access, right? And influence meetings at the White House, input on policy, and use their own hate map by some agencies or allies, right? Republicans have accused them of coordinating the label opponents, right? Look at this. But like I said before, they study going down through it, though, you know. But here it is, though. They interwork with each other. They ain't got to flat out and say with the DNC and all this other stuff, but they still interwork with each other because we heard the same rhetoric coming from the left with the damn DNC, the same stuff. It's just amazing that they mirror each other, calling people that they don't agree with as being targeted. If you are conservative, wearing the MAGA hat, you are considered a racist, when in fact they are the ones that are the racists. They are the ones that the facts come out about them supporting and funding the Ku Klux Klan, getting them off and all the rest of this stuff, man, when they got in trouble, right? These Aryan Nations and all the rest of them. And some of these motorcycle gangs too. Leave them out because some of these motorcycle gangs, though, now I'm just saying, right? So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I tell you, right? Look at this. So the SPLC, right? Oh, my goodness, though, man. But before I go back up in that, hold on for a minute. Let me see here. We talked about progressives like George Soros, link groups, corporations, and celebrities. These people, once again, criminals protect criminals. These old no talent, some of them got talent as being an actor. Actors and politicians are a lot alike. And one thing with politicians, a lot of them hold law degrees. And if you're a good actor, good charisma, it can possibly get you into the White House. Just look at Obama, right? Low IQ and all, right? But that's just how it is, right? So these celebrities and all the rest of them, right? Look at them. They're all intertwined with each other, man, and they protect each other. They try to stay lockstep with each other, but the whistleblowers, they're giving them more incentives now to whistleblow this stuff. But the SPLC has a long view as a left-leaning organization. It's positioned itself as a civil rights watchdog. Oh my goodness, man. But critics, right? Oh my goodness, including some of the left, right, argue it has become a partisan tool to smear the center-right groups. Boy, look at this, man. And they're going to fight to this stuff, and they know dang on well that they are the hate groups. We got them, ladies and gentlemen. We got them. You cannot, let's say, pivot off of this. You can't duck from this, and you can't push back from this. We got them. In 2019, right? Oh, my goodness. The DNC and the SPLC both distanced themselves from the Women's March over controversies, right? You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the like. Thank you so much. Showing their operation in overlapping activist circles, but aren't fused, right? But it don't even matter though, you know? It doesn't even matter because here it is. Here's the bottom line. Strong ideology alignments and personnel donor overlap with the broader Democrat left, right? Plus political spending favors Democrats, but not a formal DNC subsidy, right? Or direct operational partners, right? But more accurate to call the SPLC as an influential progressive nonprofit that amplifies narratives helpful to the DMC, the Democrats, in other words, causes. Boy, I tell you. And this is basically what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they have been targeting innocent people like the president and other big voices, right? And if you don't align with the progressives, they already said if they ever get in power, I'm going to keep mentioning this, and that way you guys will be motivated to go down there to those polls. We have to show up bigger than life, and we have to vote these bastards out. We have to take the House and the Senate. There's no coexisting with these fools, right? Because they have a criminal organization to protect, straight like that, right? And it doesn't do us any good to think that, oh yeah, Trump got that, you know, I can just sit back. No, you have to keep being informed. You have to stay informed, right? Because these people are not going to give up, right? They spend a lot of money. Look at it. They control, unfortunately, they control the majority of the news, the fake news. This is why these people on the left, right? Who are they over here championing for? They want America to lose. They over here talking about Iran and all this other stuff. And that's a telltale sign that something is wrong. You know, because where is the patriotism from the left? It's not there. It's not like how it is on the right. Even the center, people that center still love America. But these are phony, fake moderates because their party is so embarrassing, they don't even want to call themselves a Democrat. Who would? And I don't blame them. But they're fake moderates trying to say that they're neutral and they're not. They rah-rah for the left. They're just too ashamed and too embarrassed to say that I'm a Democrat. Being a Democrat today is it's not even a fun thing today. Back then, before Trump ever existed, it was like some people were proud to say that they're a Democrat. Yeah, we for the little man and all that. But ask yourself this. When have the Democrats ever been for the little man, right? Right? This is, I mean, with all this progressive stuff, they have also have pushed their core agendas, well, what they believed in, which was fake, but they still had a core agenda back in the 50s, 60s, and so forth. Versus today, it's all about progressivism, right? They care more about transgender right now, more so than anything else. They're pushing these things, right? They're pushing these radical leftist type of policies that nobody identifies with, right? They want to go ahead and push where they want the mutilation of the children, right? The boys to be girls and girls to be boys. And then women, they want men in your bathrooms. And even though there are men, it's only two genders. But this type of talk, ladies and gentlemen, that they don't like. Remember before Trump, they controlled the tech companies, right? They went after you, silenced you, right? Shut you down, deplatformed you if you were to say there's only two genders. Y'all remember that? This is totalitarian fascists coming from the left, right? And with this racist stuff that they're tied to, it goes and feeds to our narrative, right? It's all coming out, right? So let's go ahead and get into the video, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, look at this racist map that they designed. They created this. I didn't create this. They created it. Let me go ahead and pull this up, man. I tell you, man, this is, I mean, it's just all too easy, man. But it's just sad at the same time, man. This is the type of crap right here that we don't even need to have any, we don't need to be involved with this kind of crap, right? We taking back America, man. America is healing. There we go.
I appreciate the drawing time.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon. Today, a few minutes ago, in the Middle District of Alabama, a grand jury returned an 11-count indictment charging the Southern Poverty Law Center with 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. According to the charges in the indictment, the SPLC is a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy and racial hatred by reporting on extremist groups and conducting research to inform law enforcement groups with the goal of dismantling these groups. As the indictment describes, the SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. The indictment describes this conduct in detail, but one troubling example is that the SPLC was paying a member of the leadership group that planned the Unite the Right protest in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 that resulted in the death of 1 person and injured dozens more. This particular person being paid by the SPLC allegedly received approximately $270,000 over the course of 8 years. In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least. These individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan, United Klans of America, National Socialist Movement, Aryan Nations affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America, Nazis, and the American Front. Now, as the indictment lays out, after SPLC paid members of these extremist groups, it created work product that reported on these activities that the members participated in or contributed to. And to that end, it was doing the exact opposite of what it's told its donors it was doing, not dismantling extremism, but funding it. To carry out this scheme, SPLC created bank accounts in the name of at least 5 completely fictitious organizations that had no bona fide employees or legitimate business purpose. The money was passed from SPLC to one sham account to a second sham account and then loaded onto prepaid cards to give to the members of the extremist groups. This was designed to shield the source of those funds, and because of this, SPLC is also charged with 1 count, as I said earlier, of conspiracy to commit money laundering. In conclusion, I want to thank the acting U.S. Attorney in the Middle District of Alabama, Kevin Davidson, who's in his district right now and not able to be with us, for bringing this important case, along with the FBI team in Alabama for their hard work during this investigation. This investigation is ongoing, and I'd like to ask Director Patel to say a few words as well.
Thank you, General Blanche. What we're here today is to announce what the General just told you. The Southern Poverty Law Center, in a massive, sweeping indictment, has been charged with allegations of fraud and using the banking system to perpetrate that fraud. I just want to talk about a couple of brief things here. The Southern Poverty Law Center themselves advertise to raise money to dismantle violent extremist groups for a period of at least a decade. They use their donor network to raise money to purportedly dismantle violent extremist groups. However, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, used the money they raised from their donor network to actually pay the leadership of these very groups. I just want to say that again. They used the fraudulently raised money by lying to their donor network, thousands of Americans, to go ahead and actually pay the leadership of these supposed violent extremist groups. The groups, as the General laid out, include the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, Unite to Right, National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement, the Aryan Nation Motorcycle Club, and the National Socialist Party of America, and also the American Front. In at least one of these matters, our investigation revealed that funds were used to facilitate the commission of further state and federal offenses. totaling over $3 million. Furthermore, our investigation revealed that the Southern Poverty Law Center, on top of perpetuating this widespread, decade-long, multi-million-dollar fraud, conducted more criminal activity. They attempted to hide their criminal activity from our financial banking network. They set up shell companies and entities around America so that the financial institutions that we rely on as everyday Americans were deceived in believing that money was not coming from the Southern Poverty Law Center in the perpetration of this scheme and fraud, but rather fictitious entities they stood up to perpetuate this ongoing fraud. This is a serious and egregious violation of a group that purported to dismantle violent extremist groups, but in turn actually only fueled the hatred. This is an important case brought by President Trump's administration. We're thankful to the president for his leadership and funding of not just the FBI and DOJ, but his commitment to go out there and wipe out fraud and conspiracy and waste and abuse wherever it occurs, including the Southern Poverty Law Center. Even though this money was made to appear to be coming from legitimate people and legitimate entities, we at the FBI, with our great partners at the Department of Justice and in the state of Alabama, were able to comb through a decade worth of material, a scheme that took a decade to build, so that we were able to follow the money, because money never lies, and they got caught. As the Attorney General said, these charges are varying, they are widespread and wide-ranging, and this investigation is very much ongoing. Today we're here to announce the charges of the Southern Poverty Law Center, and this investigation and the individuals who are responsible will be brought to justice. Thank you, General.
Thank you, Director Patel. With any questions?
I'd like to know why individual people are not mentioned in this indictment. Is that something that's going to come down the pike? Is this just an indictment of the entity? Can you kind of explain, could people face charges here, or is this the indictment and you're done?
So, yes, I mean, as we said, the indictment, this investigation is very much ongoing. And today, the grand jury returned an indictment against only one entity, the Southern Poverty Law Center, and we'll go from there. But as you'll see from the indictment itself, it should be obvious from the indictment that the investigation is ongoing.
And I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations? Is that?
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so what the investigation found, according to the indictment that was returned today, is that they were paying. So the Southern Poverty Law Center is raising money, asking folks to give them money to dismantle racism. And over a very long period of time, they were using some of the money they raised from donors to pay to, they called them field, basically to informants, for information, for access, to just pay them for certain, to do certain things. And so, yes, that's exactly what the indictment charges.
I was wondering if this is going to expand perhaps to more groups. Perhaps there's been a lot of accusations about particular groups like the Patriot Front that get a lot of traction. And more so, is the government, or is this indictment, I should say, making the case that some of these matters where they've tried at great lengths to sort of make connections to people on the right per Santos? I mean, Charlottesville was very much associated by the media with being sort of like part of a right-wing kind of thing. They're like good people on both sides type of thing. I mean, are we seeing a sort of the Southern Poverty Law Center was trying to create narratives using these types of groups to shape American public opinion?
Look, I think what the Southern Poverty Law Center has said over the years is available for the world to see. It's on their website. It's in other forums. The indictment speaks for itself. I'm not going to talk outside the four corners of the indictment. It lays out what the grand jury found, and obviously there's a whole body of public information around what the Southern Poverty Law Center has done over the past several decades. Alex?
I mean, in some of these instances, these are groups that have been either their membership has been dismantled or they've definitely fallen out of public view. I'm just wondering the legal theory of how, these payments allegedly went on to actually benefit the groups. Did you see the money go to the groups themselves rather than just the individuals who were paid informants, essentially? And then I have an off-topic after.
So look, I want to be careful to keep any comments that we make inside the indictment. And so what the indictment lays out is payments to individuals who had leadership positions within these organizations. If that's what the grand jury found. And so to the extent that those individuals receiving, one received over $1 million, okay, to the extent over several years, to the extent that there's any link between that individual receiving the money and benefits to that organization, that's not in the indictment. But because again, it's not that individual who's charged with a crime. It's that individual was a informant or what have you. And it's Southern Poverty Law Center that made those payments to the individual. But it wasn't, look, the payments were not made to these individuals in exchange for a service separate and apart from their work within these organizations. So, that's I think speaks for itself.
Just on an off topic, obviously you've read the Atlantic article that's now a subject of a defamation lawsuit brought by
I absolutely did not read that article, but go ahead with your question.
I just, without, obviously it's up in litigation now, have you separately just heard any concerns, given your supervision over the FBI director, about any problems with drinking?
I have a lot of concerns, and my concerns are completely around the anonymous reporting that comes forth constantly. That reporters have an obligation to report, and they have due diligence that they're supposed to do. And when an entire article is based on anonymous sources, and there's things in the article suggesting, for example, apparently that senior DOJ personnel were informed of something, that's me. I wasn't informed. No one called me about that. So, listen, I did not read that article. It is a subject of litigation, but I've already spent too much time talking about it. Next question. Go ahead.
On that, Todd, I'm sorry. The FBI director is on camera with the U.S. Olympic hockey team chugging a beer. Do you think that that's appropriate conduct for the FBI director?
That has nothing to do with the article. Look.
You see what they're trying to do with some of these fake journalists that's in there that work for these fake news media or whatever like that? We're talking about the SPLC and what they've been indicted with, right? Well, we got to go ahead and bring about something about the Olympic. What the, you know what I'm saying? So it's not going to work. That deflection-ish, and this is what I love about these guys here. We're going to stay on topic. We're going to stay focused. Go ahead. Take it away, Todd.
There's complete hit pieces, and you guys are in this business, and you know what they look like. And the fact that you're asking repeated questions about them almost as an admission of such. But when you have a bunch of people who are hiding behind closed curtains, saying things but not willing to say it publicly, and there's certain parts of the article that are blatantly false because apparently I was told something that I wasn't, it's suspicious. In the back.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Attorney General. Can you explain again what the fraud is here exactly? Are you saying it's illegal for the SPLC to pay money to people that are in hate groups, or something about the way this was done makes it illegal? Because it's not automatically illegal, is it?
No, that's right. It's a good question. So, and again, I summarized the indictment, and it's now public for everybody to read. But the Southern Poverty Law Center is a 501c3. Okay, they're required to, under the laws associated with a nonprofit, to have certain transparency and honesty in what they're telling donors they're going to spend money on, and what their mission statement is, and what they're raising money doing. And so, as the indictment points out, there's different ways that they raise money, and in no fundraising efforts that the investigation found did they say, oh, and by the way, we're going to give $1 million to the Ku Klux Klan. So that's fraud. So that's wire fraud. So, and then the bank fraud part of it is you have KYC, you have an obligation to tell your financial institution what the corporation or the entity that you're opening an account for does, and the allegations in the indictment are that these were fictitious companies that were set up, and so there was certain information sworn to by SPLC executives about what the entities were doing that we allege is false.
Boy, this is something else here. How can a 501c3 as a nonprofit give money to the Klan? That's a violation right there. The Klan is actually a terrorist organization. They always have. They started in 1865. Soon as the abolishment of slavery ended, this is when the organization started. And at the time, it was Dixiecrat Democrats, right? No party switch. Look at this stuff, boy. I tell you, man.
Can I just follow up on, can I have one follow-up, Mr.?
Go ahead.
On the hiring of Joe diGenova to work for the department, can you just tell us a little bit? I understand you went down to Florida, perhaps to take part in his swearing in or bring him on board. Can you explain why he's being brought back to the department after 40 years?
So, I mean, look, I think that everybody in this administration, whether it's Department of Justice or elsewhere, we're always looking for good people. And he's somebody who has a deep bench. As you said, he's been in this business for decades. And when we had the opportunity to ask him to join the team and help, we readily did.
I have an on-topic and an off-topic, if you'll allow me. Are you able to explain a little bit more about what led to this investigation? Were you guys tipped off by a former employee, or how did you guys discover this?
No, I can't talk about that, but it's been going on for a long time. There was a time that it was shut down for a while during the last administration. I don't know why, and it was started again over the past year or so, and that brings us to today.
Sorry, you mean the investigation began before this administration and then was shut down during the Biden administration?
That's my understanding. I don't have information beyond what I just said around that.
I wanted to ask about the John Brennan investigation. If you can explain why the career prosecutor who had been leading that investigation was removed, and if you have or had concerns that investigation is not moving quickly enough.
I don't have any concerns about that investigation. And again, the reporting around that really is just a source purely from leaks and not actually accurate reporting is not something I'm going to comment on and never will comment on.
Could I ask you just to clarify one thing? Obviously, the Bureau had a long relationship with the SPLC. Is it your understanding that the previous leaders at the Bureau knew this was happening and didn't view it as a crime? Or is that the Bureau did not know this was happening?
It is my understanding that SPLC never told anybody in law enforcement that they were paying off the Ku Klux Klan, and I don't think that should surprise anybody.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Attorney General. I'd like you to both weigh in on a recent memo from the Office of Legal Counsel declaring the Presidential Records Act unconstitutional, so saying that presidents no longer need to preserve their documents or return them to the government. What do you say to critics who suggest this basically eliminates transparency and accountability around how White House operates, especially given how much time you guys are spending investigating the previous administration?
Well, look, I think there is no dispute that this administration in just 14 months has been a lot more transparent than the last administration or in any administration.
That's for sure.
If critics are suggesting that that's...
Yeah, that's for sure. They have been a lot more transparent than before. Because we would, and this, like I said before, we wouldn't have never known about the SPLC had it would have been under the previous administration, which was been in Biden era. Basement Obama, you know what I'm saying? It's factually true. We didn't know anything about this stuff. Why are we knowing about this stuff now? We didn't know anything about the USAID, but why are we finding out about this stuff now? That's the question.
We're not being transparent. I don't find that credible in any way, shape, or form. As far as the recent OLC opinion regarding the PRA, that is something that has been heavily litigated in D.C. and elsewhere. And OLC issuing that is not the first. That's not the first place that you see that it's unconstitutional. I mean, I think there's a lot of places that you can go to think through why that is. The memo speaks for itself, and I don't have much to say about it beyond that.
Director Patel, do you want to weigh in on that?
The president has this pending billion-dollar lawsuit against the IRS. He sort of said that this is like he's negotiating with himself. How can you assure, is there anything you can do to assure the American people that taxpayer dollars are being protected? How are those negotiations being handled?
I'm most certainly not going to talk about ongoing litigation, and it wouldn't be appropriate for me to comment about that case given its status right now.
Broadly, with the various interests, the competing interests there, right? You have the president and the White House pressing, obviously, for some personal money, and then you have him being your boss. How do you sort of, just broadly speaking, how do you sort of handle that sort of issue?
I mean, the Department of Justice handles complicated decisions involving those type of issues every day, all day, and not just this Department of Justice. Every Department of Justice handles issues like that. I mean, you have decisions that an attorney general or his or her staff have to make that are difficult and complicated, and we do it. Attorney generals before me have done it, and we'll be able to handle it in an appropriate and ethical manner. Yep.
Thank you, Acting Attorney General. A question for you and then a question for the FBI Director. You spoke about the timeline of the investigation. I know you said you have not much more to say about that, but I am curious if you can talk about if it started in 2017, 2018, and just given what you said about the Biden administration turning it off, how is the Department of Justice ensuring this investigation remains free from political influence?
Well, I mean, look, it's free from political. There is nothing political about this indictment or this investigation. SPLC has lawyers, and if they think that I'm wrong about that,
That's a stupid question.
I'd be free to make a motion in front of a judge like every other defendant in the country. As far as what I just don't know information, it wasn't that far ago. It was within the past 4 or 5 years, but there was a decision made. I don't have any insight into why it was made to not pursue the investigation, and we started it again, and that brings us to where we are today.
Patel, I do want to give you an opportunity to respond directly to the allegations in the Atlantic article that your unexplained absences created a national security risk. And beyond that, can you say definitively that you have not been intoxicated or absent during your tenure as FBI Director?
I can say unequivocally that I never listen to the fake news mafia. And as when they get louder, it just means I'm doing my job. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means is I've taken half as many days off as those before me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me. What that means is that this FBI with this Department of Justice has dropped the murder rate 20 points. What that means is this FBI with this Department of Justice has captured 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world, twice as many as the Biden administration.
That's a fact, though. You can go and pull up this, and we should actually one day go over that. Because I think that with, as him being the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, I think they're doing a wonderful job, man. Because look at it. Talking about transparency, I mean, they actually they're out in the field as opposed to before under the Biden administration. Man, it wasn't doing nothing, man.
In its entire 4 years. What that means is this FBI has seized enough fentanyl off the streets to kill 178 million Americans, a 31% increase. What that means is this FBI and this DOJ has arrested 43% more spies in 14 months than the entirety of the Biden administration. What that means is this FBI has seen a reduction in opiate overdose deaths up to 20% alone. What that means is that we have found 6,300 child victims, 6,300 families have their kids back. That is a 22% increase from the Biden administration. I'm on the job. I'm the first one in. I'm the last one out. I'm like an everyday American who loves his country, loves the sport of hockey, and champions my friends when they raise a gold medal and invite me in to celebrate. I've never been intoxicated on the job, and that is why we filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit. And any one of you that wants to participate, bring it on. I'll see you in court.
Explain the computer login.
Yeah, because that's just straight up slander. You see the Dems on the left, they're just pathetic. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. They are pathetic. They got to go and question this man, try to call this man, an alky, basically, drinking on the job and all this other stuff. They're just weak. Just like they weak when they come in here. When they result in name calling like little children, it's just weak. They don't have anything. And it's getting worse and worse and worse for the Dems, right? Because if you really had something, look at you try to set up and trying to redistrict Virginia. It was shut down and things like that by the judge, right? When we want to talk about, Russiagate, Pizzagate, Spygate, Bill Gates, and all the rest of it, you know what I'm saying? There's a big thing, the big Letitia James, Fonnie Willis, and things like that. And then we talk about this situation right here with the SPLC, right? There's other things that are coming out instead of being exposed. That's why I say, though, ladies and gentlemen, this party, this jackass party, they're on their way down, ladies and gentlemen, and it's evident, right? Because I present to you, Your Honor, the receipts, right? And here it is. Here we are listening to it right now. I didn't make this stuff up. This is not AI or, you know what I'm saying? This is the real deal, right? And this is what we're looking at, man. We got the diligent, working diligently around the clock, diligently around the clock, right? We're talking about Todd Blanchard, right? And we also talking about Kash Patel. And I think they're doing a wonderful job, right? For what it is what we're up against, though, you know? So they don't have a leg or a position to stand on, right? I mean, look at it, man. FBI is all these arrests, man, all these things that are happening. We ain't never seen this in the Biden era, let alone the Obama era. They wasn't out in the field. They was in that building, man, right? And I'm with him on that, man, because that building need to be set up as nothing more than, where people go like a library, you know what I'm saying, in a museum, more like a museum. People can go in there and look at their FBI because they didn't do no work before. They're doing more work now than ever before, man. Thank you, though, Kash Patel, man, and Todd Blanchard. Yeah, so it's a beautiful thing, though. I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more of this, though. You guys enjoying yourself? I'm going to get to the comments in a minute, you know.
Just explain the computer login issue. You were not able to log into your lawsuit contends that you were not able to log into the system. What did you think after you were unable to log into the system?
Let me answer it.
No. Did you communicate with anyone that you thought you were fired after you were unable to log into
The problem with you and your report, don't cut me off. You asked a question.
See
The
how
problem with you and
disingenuous
your
it is? Get
baseless
him out of
reporting
here.
is that is an absolute lie. It was never said. It never happened. And I will serve in this administration as long as the president and the attorney general
Just
want
see
me
him
to
in
do
court.
so. And every time you guys report false lies, every time you guys raise baseless questions, when we are here to talk about the Southern
You see how he triggered? You see how he triggered? Because they like little, I got to say the word, they're like little bees, right? That's what they are. They get into their feelings, they get triggered, and they crash out. And he asked a question, but wouldn't even let him talk. Then he wanted to continue on to try to push that out, though. Couldn't happen with me, though, man. Oh, my goodness, though, because you know I like to troll him, man. And that probably would be good for the job. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, though, man, I hate it when I get cut off. You ask me a question. Then when I try to respond, no, I'm not finished yet, though. They get triggered, man. They have nothing. Can y'all see that the Dems are going down in flames? And this is hurting them. Because we know that they're attached to this stuff, type of stuff. Come on now, you gotta stop. You gotta stop it now. I'm gonna block her real quick. Because that's one thing I don't tolerate. You keep calling me back to back like that. Something ain't right. Just give me one moment. Let me go ahead and unblock her. You know how women are, man? They are, man, I'm just telling you, go and block her. Go and block her for right now. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Right? So, yeah, this is what it is, though, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it is. Look at this. Right? I should say some women. Sorry, ladies. Some women, right? There we go. Look at this.
Law Center's $3 million decade-long scheme to fraudulently fleece Americans. You are off topic.
It's a simple, straightforward question. Did you talk to anybody about whether you thought
The
you were
simple
fired?
answer to your question is you are lying. And every time you do so, I've
triggered.
answered your question.
Look at him, triggered.
Simply as follows. I was never locked out of my systems.
Look at the chart right here. Look at this. Boy, do I need to make that a little, oh yeah, there it is. Can y'all see that? 1 million plus in the National Alliance affiliate. 300,000 in the Aryan Nation affiliate. 270K United to the Right member. Look at that, 140K for the former National Alliance chairman. 73,000, right, plus for the former KKK members, and 19,000 for the American Front president and felon. Boy, look at this, man. Look at this here. That just show the receipts. Look at this. Boy, I tell y'all, man. Look at it, boy. Yeah, y'all can see it, though. I had to enlarge it a little bit. Should I keep it up? Maybe just show it. That way y'all can really see it. I'll keep it right there. I'll keep it there for right now. I'm going to go and play this thing again.
Who says
Your lawsuit says the opposite. Your lawsuit contends.
anyone that says the opposite is lying.
The
Thank you.
lawsuit that you filed says that directly.
Man, stop. You're being extraordinarily rude.
Get him out of
And I
there.
know maybe that's part of your profession.
Yeah, 'cause
but
he's
please just
triggered like a little
If
pussy.
you ask a question, he can answer it. And then, wait, now you're interrupting me. Like just a little bit of respect, man. Just a tiny little bit.
They
Try
don't
it
have
sometime.
any. It's a liberal pussy.
Earlier today, Senate Majority Leader John Thune once again was
Shit, the women got more they got more decorum than this dude does, man. Look at him. Man. What? That's why I told y'all liberal men are the worst, man. They are the worst. Oh my goodness.
pleading for an end to the Justice Department's investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. How do you respond to a direct request like this from someone in your own party?
I haven't received the request, formally yet. I mean, listen, this is an ongoing investigation, and that's something that we can't talk about aside from saying, yes, it's an ongoing investigation, and the senator knows that, and other senators know that as well, and we'll get through it. But it is an ongoing investigation, and we can't really talk about it, especially not in public. But we'll try to address any senator, not just a senator from the Republican Party's concerns about that.
Director Patel, you said in an interview over this weekend regarding the election into whether the 2020 presidential election was stolen, you said that there were going to be arrests coming, and I promise you it's coming soon. Hoping you could just elaborate a little bit on what that meant.
Sure. We have many ongoing investigations into large-scale conspiracies, and like we did today, we'll be announcing those arrests when the grand jury returns those indictments.
All right, just one more question.
Yeah, just that simple, man. Yeah, we can't even forget about how the 2020 elections was stolen from Trump. And when they bring this out, the grand jury, like I said, this administration is very transparent, man. For the first time ever, they the ones that told us about the USAID. Now we're learning about the SPLC and all the rest of them, LMNOP. Thank y'all for the likes. But I'm just saying, though, man, we are finding out more things, though. That's why I say we just crushed the Dems in here, man. They try to come in here, man, and they get triggered, they crash out, they don't answer questions or whatever like that. Boy, I tell you, boy, it's just so easy, man, so easy. Oh, my goodness.
I have an on-topic and off-topic. On the Southern Poverty Law Center, my understanding was from the video that the group posted today that this program about paying the informants had ended. I wasn't clear about when that was. Do you have any information about when this program stopped paying informants, and then if there's a statute of limitations issue there? I just wasn't sure how far back we're talking. And then I have another on-topic.
So look, all I can tell you is the indictment alleges a very long period of time that includes up to 2023. So that's I can't speak beyond, when if anything has been happening since then, just what the grand jury found.
And then I also wanted to ask a follow-up on Joe diGenova. Looking back at, he's been very vocal over the years about his thoughts about the 2016 investigation, about the intelligence assessment. One quote that he said in an article in 2020 was, "There's no doubt John Brennan was the primogenitor of this entire counterintelligence investigation. It was John Brennan who went to James Comey and basically pummeled him into starting a counterintelligence investigation against Trump. Brennan's at the heart of this." Given those prior statements, isn't there possibly a conflict of interest, or at the very least a perceived conflict of interest, having him oversee this investigation? And has he been vetted for conflicts prior to being hired at the Justice Department?
I don't know. I'm not sure what the conflict of interest would be because somebody has said something in the past about a particular matter. That doesn't create a conflict necessarily. That's not what the conflicts are designed to, for just that. And I think
it creates a sense of bias, doesn't it? Like he's coming into the investigation with preconceived views about.
Yeah, they trying though, aren't they? The Dems on the left, the fake media and all the rest of them, they be trying, don't they? They be trying to paint a narrative that doesn't work. That's why I say, that's why I love being a conservative on the right, because it's all about common sense policies and logic. Something that the Dems should learn how to practice, I appreciate the likes, though. I really do, guys. I do.
A target of your investigation, isn't that a problem?
I mean, I just completely disagree with the premise. I mean, look, if you look at what happened during the president's investigations. There were prosecutors that were actively involved in the 2016 information with Barr and what AG Barr was doing. They readily joined the case, and one of them was actually stood up in court. So I don't think it's unusual, and it's not something that, sure, he has to make sure that he's doing everything ethically. I'm sure that he would. He has to make sure that everything he's doing is not in conflict with whatever rules, the rules that we have in this building. But the mere fact that he has spoken about his perception, he didn't have access to grand jury information. He didn't have access to witnesses, and so like any prosecutor, I expect that he will follow the facts, and those facts come from witnesses and grand jury information.
All right, guys. So it looks like that is pretty much it there. Let me go and take a look at some of these comments and stuff. And yeah, man, because this is, I mean, it's interesting, man, with this thing. We got Mike in the house. Boy, we got Mike back in the house. Mike says, Democrats will not discuss Southern Poverty Law Center. You're right, though, Mike. They're going to avoid it. You know, that's why some of them ain't coming in this room, because they don't want that smoke. There should be a arrest. I agree with you, though, Mike. It should be. There should be an arrest. It should be. Right? You don't have a degree. I'm shocked. You know what, though, Big Smoke? You don't need a degree, though, to be able to do what I'm even doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a degree, and I'm not downplaying education. I love education, right? But we got to keep in mind the education itself is a business. It is designed to offer things that people may want. I mean, and I'm not against it, though. You know what I'm saying? But it's what it is. But I appreciate it as a compliment, though, you know. Big Smoke says, you look so smart, man. You know, looks can be deceiving sometimes, because I may fumble and stumble some words or whatever. But I appreciate that. That is a compliment. I thank you, you know. I really do, you know. Let me see here. The Power Oneful. 1946. Is that when you were born? Probably. This guy is another reason politically illiterate believer in fairy tales and Santa Claus, boy, and Easter rabbits. So Power on one, folks. So you don't believe? You see the hypocrisy. So Power of One, man. This is gonna be fun here. I got a question for you if you're still in the room. So all of this is Santa Claus and oh my goodness. What did he say? Easter rabbit, fairy tales. Can y'all believe this? Let me go and post this. This is what he said. Let me go and post Mike's stuff too. Hold on for a minute. Let me come back to Mike, man. I remember you before, Mike. I got to go ahead and make you a moderator, man. I keep saying that too. I'm going to go down. I'm going to put a little star by your name here and put a little star so I can be able to go back to there and reference that. There we go. That's going to make it a lot easier for me, right? And Big Smoke in the house, man. I appreciate you. Big Smoke. That's what I'm talking about. I like that name, Big Smoke. Talking about I want to smoke. It's Big Smoke. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, so the power oneful. Oh, man. So, in other words, so all this is a lie. So the Dems ain't responsible for Russia, Spygate, Pizzagate, you know what I'm saying, Bill Gates, all this other stuff. So all that is made up. The 2020 stolen election from a president, right? They tried, 2020 was stolen from him because he is the president, but they stole it with the phony ballot stuffing and all that, the Dominion machines and all that. Come on now, mail-in ballots, man. Detroit, man, my area, right, was a disgrace when that happened. But he wanted to sit up here and say all this is phony and fake, right? But you can't thread that needle though, because I got you. You sound ridiculous. People are laughing at you in this room, you know. I'm even laughing. What's wrong with Sorry about that. Hold on for a minute. Sorry about that. I gotta do it right, man. I'm so used to doing the applause button. But here's the thing about it, though, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a joke. This is a joke. I mean, it really is. You can't make this ish up, man. You cannot make this ish up. Boy, I tell you, Alaskan, all right, Alaskan salmon. I'm just joking. Democrats have said for years Iran is the biggest threat to the U.S. in the Middle East. But when Trump does something, it's all bad, hypocrites, right? Because like I said before, I showed the receipts, though. I don't know if you was in here, though, Alaskan. I showed the receipts of Obama, Joe Biden, and Kamala saying how Iran was a threat to democracy and how a nuclear capability has to be shut down, in so many words. All three of them said it, right? But when Trump is actually doing something about it, he just wasn't about to talk. He's a man of action, right? Boy, I tell you, man, this is what make the Dems, man, they so far gone. Their policies are not common sense. They don't have any policies. They just make ish up, and then they blame it on somebody else. They don't come through on anything. Boy, I tell you, man. Look at all these people blazing these guys in this room. They blazing y'all, man, on the left. They blazing you. Let me see here. The left are the actual fascists and racists. You're 100% correct, though. You're 100% correct. What's that? AAA, Black OFC? Yeah, you're absolutely right. This group has a history of that in Ku Klux Klan and all this other stuff. Boy, they can't even stop it, man. Yep, let me see here. Steve Williams says, hello. I'm gay for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least you for Jesus, though, man. I'm not one to judge you, you know. Only God can judge. Who is this, Tupac? He had a good point with that. I love that song. Only God can judge me. That was Tupac. Edmund says, at least someone has the courage to go after the SPLC. God bless you in Trump, Justice Department. Thank you so much. They have they got the courage to go after these people. They caught them red-handed. There's no way of trying to spin. You seen the fake news in there, boy, trying to push a narrative. It just make them look stupid, man, which they are, by the way. Magnus says the GOP has been the bane of America ever since they adopted the Southern strategy. When you say adopted Southern strategy, what you talking about? You got to be a little bit more descriptive, Magnus, before I can even get into it. Here's this guy right here, the power of onefold, man. He got down here, based on the U.S. Today analysis. U.S. Today? Are you kidding me, man? The U.S. He just want to make it sound like the USA Today is an authoritarian rag. I mean, what's that? Not authoritarian, but that too. They consider, he act like they are so legit. No, they're not. Boy, look at him. Let me read what he says anyway. He's talking about the analysis from 2016. Donald Trump and his business have been in over, look at this right here, 3,500 legal actions. Look at this here. Actions over the three divot. But here's the thing about it, though, man. Remember I said before, they love asking a question or making a statement about Trump. This is a guy you said 34 count felon and all that, but where is the indictments? Where was the action at? Why was that? You know, it was all BS and bull, man. And because they really had something, they would have already arrested him, right? You got a nothing burger again, man. You're just making yourself look silly. Unfortunately, man, you just come in here making yourself look silly. You got to go back in 2016. Let's talk about how people, right? And there's a crew of Obama's intelligence, right, that got together and set up a coup. This is an actual fact, right? You have Obama, Hillary, right, Rice, Clapper, Comey, and others, right, that was in that room, and Biden too, don't leave Biden out. They were all in that room of doing basically a coup. They were conspiring against a duly elected president, right, to subvert the will of the American people. We talking about voting. And this is funny how this guy, the power of onefold, he don't want to talk about that. But he got to go into something else, man. Talking about U.S. Today. Nobody, I don't even listen or watch no U.S. Today. It's another fake news outlet, man. Are you serious? Boy, I tell you. Kingsman says, once upon a time, a German had the biggest barbecue in history, right? Boy, I just gotta love some people, boy, I tell you. Let's get back down. Let's get serious again. Mike says, the stuff going on during the Biden administration is just unbelievable. Should have been no Kings March during the Biden administration. Yeah, I keep saying it too, Mike. You see how the hypocrisy? Because if they were so concerned about the no king stuff, it should have happened with Biden, right? This is the guy here, Basement Obama, that went after the political opponents, because we already know the Basement Obama was the one responsible for that. And the same intel people, which I probably assume, they went after his opponent. Why do you think they broke into Mar-a-Lago and all the rest of the stuff? They went after political people, took the cell phones. This is a King's thing. This is not only that, but we're talking about this what we call it, no kings, or in fact a dictatorship, to be more exactly. This is exactly what went on, you know. Mr. Booski, I remember you from before. Mr. Booski, man. Mr. Booski says Democrat politicians created the KKK. You are absolutely right. I mean, in fact, I'm gonna post both of y'all things up here, because you guys always come in my room, which I do appreciate, and you always have some very logical, common sense type of stuff to talk about. It's a beautiful thing. Carlos, right? Let me see here. Gabriel. That's the angel right there. Angel Gabriel, right? The Lord in these days, right, exhorts, let me see, his beloved children to enter into to the new earth. Gotta love it though when they talk about stuff with that, Jesus and stuff and God. You know what I'm saying? Who am I to, criticize or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Mike says Democrats don't care how crooked the organization is. Mike, but you're absolutely right. They don't care. It's all about deflection, lying, deceit, and people. This is the reason why the people have already been red pill. And the Dems have done it to themselves, man. They have done it. They never thought they were going to be in a situation today. They always trying to defend stuff now. And it's just overwhelming. It's just overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Chubby says, absolutely, black ass, you know. My ass is black. You ain't telling me something that I don't know, Chubby. You know what I'm saying? Chubby Tubby. Oh, my goodness. You ain't telling me something that I don't know. Let me see here. Orden says, is my engine builder racist? Because he told me not to get a block cast in Mexico. You trying to say, is that racist? You just trying to mess with me, aren't you? All right, let me see here. SSD says, hope everyone is enjoying Trump's new war and expensive gas prices. Is that all you got? Yeah, prices are steady kind of going down, actually, though. He wants them to go down faster, but we already know he's going to pretty much have to go after these people that's doing the gas gouging, because there's no more fear, there's no more threat, no more Iran. But the wicked news, lying news, and so forth, they're still trying to push this thing, but it's not going to happen. You're not going to push a ground war. It's not going to happen. Sorry. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Right? Good day, sir. Jonathan Carr says, Mr. Handsome 109. Let me see, Mr. Handsome. Mr. Handsome, man. Is that what the women tell you, that you're handsome? I hope. You could be handsome in your own right. We all are handsome in our own way, though. You really are. Right? SSD says, enjoy Trump new war on the you gonna keep doing that? Don't want to do the spamming now. You want to keep doing that. Mr. Brewski, says, gas is no more for me than under Biden. So I have no complaints. This isn't a war by definition. It's a conflict. And I agree with you, Mr. Booski. I do agree with you on that, man. This is what I'm talking about. All I ask is just bring some type of, when we talk about common sense, right, and logic. Just this is what this is about, man. This is what it's about. SSD says Trump is Israel's obedient dog. You know where you gotten that from? You got that from Tucker Carlson, man. You got it from Candace Owens, right? They they lied to you. Their ass is on the way out too, right? Who's listening to them? They're not even credible anymore. They sold out for the moolah, the money, the money, man. Who's listening to Tucker today? I'm not. I don't listen to Tucker. I don't listen to Candace, Alex Jones, Marjorie Trader Green, and things, and Nick Fuentes. No, I don't listen to those people, man. Because they were all they were paid off, and they were trying to destroy MAGA, and it didn't work. Acts 1915 says Trump's still cheaper than Biden, greed, and what's that, degenerate, generate, or whatever. I just don't have my glasses today. I misplaced them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's still cheaper, right? Even the inflation. Y'all remember when Biden, we had 9% inflation, the highest I've ever seen in a long time. You know what I'm saying? And we know that inflation is cumulative, right? At the same time. But they didn't have the smoke for Biden at all. It's amazing. They wanted Biden to win so much. And then they were over here lying, including Biden. Yeah, we're good right now. We got the jobs and all that. He kept, it wasn't working, man. It wasn't working. Y'all remember that? And then Biden want to talk about how he had all these jobs. What they were talking about from the government, right? Which causes more problems on the American taxpayer. Because when you got to have a big government, inflation goes up, straight up. Just like you have illegal immigrants in this country too. You understand what I'm saying? And we look at it, everything just constantly was going up, especially with him. He shut down the Keystone Pipeline. We wasn't producing our own energy no more. We had to rely on it from Canada and other people. Y'all remember that stuff. It wasn't that long ago, right? So I'm just walking them down on this stuff because they make themselves look ridiculous, like always. When every time they come in here, make themselves look ridiculous, you know? And here's Axe trying to name all the Congress. I'm not going to name not even one. You know why? Because you're trying to get a gotcha moment, but you can't do it. What you're going to answer is my question, right? About the SPLC and how it is linked to the Dems and the Ku Klux Klan and the Aryan Nation and whatever. And that's what we're going to talk about, boy. Because you are going down in flames, sir. Boy, Mr. Booski says the left pretend Trump is Israel's lapdog when the Democrats are the ones who said they stand by Israel through everything. And I remember them said it. Obama said it. There's many of them that have said it, right? Look at it, that they stand with Israel, right? This is exactly what it is. And we could show the receipts on that. It's just amazing, man. You know, it's amazing though, ladies and gentlemen, though, you know, but and I appreciate the likes. Thank you so much. Mr. Booski says they ignore Biden, right? Was funding all the wars to cry about Trump, man. You're absolutely right about that. And that $350 million that was sent over there to Ukraine, remember that one? Oh my gosh, it was an ever war. That's why Trump said that war would have never happened. So many lives were lost, things were decimated, though, man. I mean, it was. But they once again, they still trying to push for World War III. You know, we haven't even gotten into Germany, which I am going to talk about. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. You guys already know about NATO. We're on the verge of pulling out over there. Trump even said that he's going to pull the troops from Germany. Bye-bye. What's that? Ursula Delville Lyons, you know what I'm saying? Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my goodness. Ursula Delville Lyons, man. There it is, boy. You know, Spain, too. Spain has been bad to America, man. Oh, my goodness, man. Well, boy, we got him, though, man. Oh man, who's going to protect Germany? Who's going to protect Spain, right? Oh, from the enemies of the European Union. Oh my goodness. Mr. Brewski says they cry about the cost today, pretending we didn't see the record inflation and tripped costs, right, for living under Biden and can't say a thing about what he calls. Exactly. He gets praised for double standard democracy. And we already know all that was basement Obama anyway. Yeah, basement Obama. And you're 100% correct, though, Mr. Brewski. And I appreciate you guys. I'm going to have to get you guys on my, make you guys some sheriffs, man. Mm-hmm. Boy, y'all going to be my deputies. Mr. Brewski says, we had 500 terabytes stolen and hacked of the files and silence under Trump about Epstein all together. Yeah, I remember that, man, because they are the ones that really didn't want the Epstein stuff to truly come out. There was names taken out those files, edged out purposely done, right? That's exactly what it is, right? It was all on them. Yep. You're right about that. They called him a fascist when they're the ones doing everything to take out someone who isn't in, right, in lockstep with them. You're absolutely right about that, though, too, you know. Mr. Booski says, I hear, what's that? The SPLC also funded the North Carolina incident. Yep, I heard about that too, man, where that woman got ran over and stuff because they actually paid the Ku Klux Klan to show up out there. Then they try to paint Trump as being a racist. Trump denounced it. They don't play all the sound by trying to say that everybody. I remember all that stuff when that went down, man. Nice try, man. All that, man. This is how dirty they are on the left, man. They very, very dirty people, man. Dirty, boy. Mr. Brewski says Obama made whistleblowers scared because he imprisoned some of them who came against him. Yeah, exactly. Just look at Tina Peters. Tina Peters broke this whole story, how the elections was rigged, and they locked that woman up with a health issue, a serious health issue. They're still holding Tina Peters, and they're still holding her right now. But you notice what the left, they don't have no smoke whatsoever. I should call it a free smoke show, man. But they have no smoke. Mr. Brewski says Obama revised the bill that held the media accountable for honest reporting. Yeah. Yep. Look at this. Look at this. Gary, let me see here. Yeah, we better take it back from them. Yeah, we are. We are taking, we've been making tremendous strides against that, taking America back. Because that's what the whole mission was. This is the reason why I voted for Trump, is to not only make America great, but to take back America as a patriot, right? Because we're tired of living under tyranny and fear and corruption for a very, very long time. Look at the fentanyl deaths, right? Look at the cartel. Look at the gang members and all the rest of the stuff. It's a big criminal operation. It was never designed to take these people down, but it was designed to say that we are trying to do our best and exhausted all our funds. Give me the money. And that's what they were trying to do, right? Yeah, and Shank says Obama legitimized propaganda. Well, we talk about, I just mentioned that thing too. Hold on for a minute. It was a propaganda thing, and he redid the, let me see, it'll come back to me. You know the name of it, but it'll come back to me. But you're absolutely right, though, Shank. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you, that's exactly what it is. Legitimized propaganda. The Smith and Muntz Act, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember, the Smith-Munt Act, And Obama had a lot to do with that, changing stuff around, though, you know what I'm saying? He had a lot to do with that. Josh Brooks says, funny how the ratio in the liberal lives versus the conservative lives are some large, the liberals lives are full of bots. Yeah, they're full of bots. They come in my room. You know what I'm saying? Because you notice with bots don't answer questions. It just, they don't do any of that type of stuff, you know? Gary says, what are you talking about? The left. I do. I'm a Democrat. One thing about it, Gary, at least you ain't afraid to admit that you are a Democrat. But I'm going to tell you, man, your racist party that you belong to, a lot of the problems in America are coming from the Democrats. The Demo KKK rats to be more proper. That's the proper name for you. And anybody that rock with the left, right? You should be ashamed of yourself, right? You should be ashamed. And then look at your hypocrites, right? That have destroyed. The Democrats are the reason why the black neighborhoods are the way they are. They're the ones that created the hoods, the ghettos, right? This is all coming from the Democrats. You should be ashamed of yourself. In fact, I got a bone to pick with you since you admitted a Democrat. Look at how you done destroyed my community, right? With your policies and your bull, you know what? I'm going to keep it family. I'm going to keep it family today, ladies and gentlemen. But this is what it is, though. I have done, and I have on my early stuff, I have went into these dangerous neighborhoods where Gary is pussy that he won't go into, right? And report the real deal up there, you know? And we could show you the districts of the forgotten people that the Democrat Party have turned their backs on when we needed you the most, right? Our rotten educational system, right? That's another joke, right? Look at the crime, violence, drugs. We can't even get a working street light in some of these areas. Been annexed off with a bunch of weeds. Bodies are being tossed and stuff like that. All type of stuff. Sanitation issues, right? Rats and other issues. Stuff that I never see in the suburbs, but I see it in the inner city. And for someone that don't call this out, where is the Democrat Party for that? And I'm asking you a question, though, Gary, and you gonna answer my questions, right? Where's the justice in regards to this? This was all created by the Democrats, right? The Demo KKK rats. Josh Brooks says, meow. Josh Brooks says, welcome to the other side, Gary. Yeah, I know that's right. Josh says, they just want to destroy and corrupt all the God creations, right? This is what they want to do. I got to post that. It sure do. He won't. Gary ain't going to answer no real questions because I put him on the spotlight because I get him every time, but just looking at the black community. If that ain't racist, I don't know what is. It's the racist policy, left-leaning policies, racist left-leaning policies, right? This is why we have these ghettos, right? This is why we have the crime. They never had no intent of fixing up the ghettos or the crime because they need the funding. They can justify, we need more police on the street, this and that. All they've been doing is pocketing the money. We know that. They don't go for where it is. Now it's about defund the police. So they want to make it more of an issue, right? When you defund the police, you're accepting a lot of catastrophe. You're looking for more violence. And it's unfortunate that some of these blacks believe that. Remember that whole 2020 thing, BLM? Defund the police. You know, are you crazy, you know? Right? But this is the stuff, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't. Look at Gary, man, over here crying, right? Everything going on right now is all this bull. He says Republicans only. Gary, you's a liar, man. You are a liar. You know yourself that blue leftist leaning policies in these blue cities are the problem. They're not out in the country and all these other suburban areas. You know it yourself. You too afraid to admit it. Because if you do, I'm white, I'm racist if I call that out. You know what I'm saying? You should be calling out the truth. But we know that you're a coward because if you call that out, they call you a racist. I don't want to be called a racist, so I'm going to tiptoe around the answer. You ain't going to tiptoe around it because I got you. Checkmate. You got to justify why these neighborhoods are. Republicans ain't the problem. Republicans ain't needed the black vote. Who needed the black vote? It was the Democrats, man, not the Republicans. How you going to put that on the Republicans? right? The Republicans run cities are a whole lot better than Democrat ran cities when it comes down to the budget and money. Everybody know that the Dems over budget, overspend, right? Won't higher taxes. Are you kidding me? Killing me, man? Are you kidding me? I'm just killing them, man. Kicking they behind, man, is what I do best. Axe says the Democrats shove blame on the Republicans for what Democrats do. Right. Josh Brooks says, off the liberal live to continue trolling, right? Oh, yeah, that's cool. I do that too, though, Josh. I get in these liberal rooms. If you see Johnny in there, and who's the other one? Santana Jones, troll that sucker for me too, man. I can't stand those dudes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They're so stupid. Johnny want to act like he's so damn smart and so damn dignified or whatever. And you notice that these guys won't talk about these real issues. He's still over here. You still a Trump supporter? Explain why you're Trump. They got a whole format. And like I said, I've been called them out, controlled opposition. These guys are paid. And I'm saying that, man. I can say that. By dark money, right? That's why they come up here with the same old nonsense, though. They ain't none of them talking nothing, ain't nothing that you're learning about. Or why you tell me why you still vote for Trump, right? Are you crazy, man? There's a whole bunch of reasons why, you fool, you know? Mr. Zesty Boy, right? Gary says, first, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. You should know, though, Gary. You should know. Axe says, let's see if there's jail time. Oh, yeah. But I believe it's going to be jail time. But like I said, he's building up. This whole administration they got to make sure that they want to make sure that these situations to the grand jury is iron tight, right? There's no mistakes allowed, right? Right now, we're just seeing crooked judges that's like Bollesberg, right? They want to shut this stuff down. That's what they are doing. They're blocking for who? The deep state. We already know this, right? Look at this. Axe says, also as a black caucus in Congress, but no whites or Hispanic or Asian caucus. And that's another point that I want to make up as well, though, Axe. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We don't even need a black anything because this is all on the left. They use race to what? Separate us, man. We don't need to be separated. This is coming from the left. You notice that they don't come in the room very much. You know what I'm saying? Not on this topic. They want to avoid it like the plague. They don't want that smoke with this one. Not with this topic. No. They much rather talk about Trump. But we talking about a racist Ku Klux Klan that's been funded. This organization, the SPLC, has been funding these people, man. And we got them. We busted them, man. Thanks to Kash, Patel, and Todd Blanche, man. That's a beautiful thing. Boy, Let me see here. Let me see here. Ninja, blah, blah, blah. Hat is absolutely hilarious. And why America, KKK, is cooked. No, John, you are misinformed. Let me go ahead and get you together too, man. You can go ahead and take that. Well, actually, the ninja stuff is fitting for you. You know, I consider you as a ninja. He's another ninja in this room. And y'all already know the word ninja, what it really translates to. Just like a ninja, you know, they come in here, right? They never call their party out. And most of these black ninjas are led by black females, right? They hide up under their skirt tail. And we know that you get your marching orders from a black woman, don't it? We're obviously, you know. That's why a lot of these so-called ninja brothers, you know, there's some liberals, soft as pie, man. Oh, my goodness. Soft, 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 right? And he comes in here. He brings his ninja silverback gorilla butt up in this room, stumping and knocking over furniture and stuff. Just go up here and tell me that. You know what I'm saying? And he lives in America, man. You know what I'm saying? Believing that bull crap and stuff. Boy, I tell you. Oh, my goodness, man. Look at this, man. Let me see here. Following a Sikh gender, old orange. Look at this here, man. He ain't got nothing. Your racist group is your Democrats in the SPLC. You idiot, you. Look at your black community. Boy, this silverback, I'm going to call you silverback, man. This silverback come up in my room, boy. I'll tell you, man. Get it, yo, boy, this silverback. I tell you. He comes up in this room, right? And he's over here defending. He loves the ghetto. He loves the hood. He likes the way things are right now, which was all left-leaning policies, man. The drugs, right? The gang activity, right? Can't deny this. All of it come from the left. And we call this out. This is why you notice he tried to change the topic because he doesn't have a defense for the SPLC that has been, charged. This ain't alleged, charged for funding the Ku Klux Klan, funding the Aryan Nation. And they are tied in with your BS jackass party. You idiot, you. Boy, I tell you, man, I'm done with this silverback, boy. This silverback come up in here, boy, look at this, though. He don't have a defense for nothing. Look at him. Like a little baby. A liberal female is what I call these guys, man. They're not men, they're like liberal females. Right? Because you notice that he won't touch the topics that we're talking about. You know, we have more transparency today than ever before. And I want to pull this guy up to see if he has a channel. Because it's obvious, man, that people don't even rock with these guys, man. These old silverbacks and ninjas that come up in here, man, with their 1 or 2 views and all the rest of this stuff. They come up in here trying to act like they hot stuff, and there ain't nothing. I mean, this ain't even worth even dealing with this dude. Roster says he is right about the Dixiecrats. They invented the Ku Klux Klan. Hold on for a minute. Let me get this person off my phone. I don't know you. Get off of here. All right. Hate these old anonymous calls that you don't know. Right? He is right about the Dixiecrats. It don't matter if it's a Dixiecrat, Democrats. Once again, it's all the same. It ain't no party switch. This is the same stuff we talked about before. MAGA is so over. How so? How so? I notice, and when you keep saying this stuff when you come in here, you don't have a defense of what we're talking about, right? That automatically makes you're already out. You don't even have a defense of your own party, man. The Democrats were carpetbaggers after the Civil War and started the KKK, folks. This is what your Democrats have done behind the votes for them. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And they were started in 1865 after the abolishment of slavery, right? They were so disgruntled. They hated to see their slaves be free. So what did they have to do? They had to form an organization with the white sheets to hide their cowardly face, and they went out here into the black communities and terrorized them, right? These old uppity ninjas, we're going to teach them a thing or two on all the rest of this stuff. This was a known thing that happened, burning the cross on the lawn. This is the same Dixiecrat Democrats, and that's actually factually true. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican after freeing the slaves, right? And there was a lot of things that he was trying to do, not just freeing the slaves, right? But he was the one that brought the greenbacks because he had a fight against the globalists in his time, right? Right? So this is exactly what it is, which led up to his assassination, man. Boy, I tell you, man, I bet you this old silverback don't know the whole history on that. Bro, with his ignorant self, boy, I tell you, boy, you always tell a ninja when you see one. Boy, I'm too old for this type of stuff. David says, Trump is insane. MAGA is fascist death cult. Man, well, you have to explain that though, man. You can't throw out accusations and not back it up because the death cult is the liberals, right? The Democrats. Y'all the minority group. You're not the majority in this country. If that was so, Kamala Harris should have won. Y'all had to cheat. Push those numbers up. Kamala don't have anything, right? Kamala. You don't have anything. Your party don't have anything, right? Go and research and look up the party and stop being led, right? You idiot, right? Oh, my goodness. Let me see here. David says, how pathetic is a black man simping for? I'm not simping at all. I'm doing well. Since Trump been in, let me give you a little thing here. My my dividends been going up, been looking great. My precious metal stuff has been going up and things. A lot of things have been working out for me since Trump have been in the office. Look at the stocks, right? Everything is going up, 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 up. What's this guy talking about, man? Don't put me in a situation with you. Because I handle my business very well and put investments in dividends and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So don't lump me into that. Boy, I tell you. Rasta says, Ronster says SPLC is cooked. I agree with you. Because they're going after these people, man. Mr. Booski says, if MAGA is a fascist, then why is it only Democrats trying to go after Trump? Right? And ask Trump, not going after the corrupt politicians, right? I thank you for the likes, who have done nothing, right, for the people but fight Trump tooth and nail for everything. Well said, Mr. Booski, man. Well said. This is the whole argument that we actually have, right, against the left. I mean, it just don't make any sense. Right? And then Mr. Booski says they what's that, created to be for, right? They created a be for, I can answer that and finish that up. But they created to be for the working class people and the poor, which has never been actually right at all. You know what I'm saying? How pathetic can you be by judging people for supporting the president that's supporting the president just because you don't like him? See, they've been, you know this, Mr. Brewski, and a lot of you guys in this room do, because they have been lied to under Obama. All this stuff is coming from Obama. Obama, the worst president ever. He's the one that have divided the people in America, right? This is where all this stuff is coming from, right? You know? They want a smooth silk salesman type of president that never done anything for America. He weaponized our enemies, right? Defunded our military, weaponized Iran, sent a lot of money over there, trillions of dollars into Iran, right? Look at this. Jet full of money over there, crates full of money over there in Iran, right? Gave them the nuclear capability, which is the uranium, taught them how to enrich it. All that came under Obama, man. And all the information is coming out. Just listen to Tulsi Gabbard. She tell you. All this is coming out, man. Boy, I tell you. And they don't have a leg to stand on, man. They really don't, Mr. Booski. Mike, they don't have a leg to stand on, man. Let me see here. Looters says the jealousy of anti-MAGA, right? Crowds. That's what I say, clouds or crowds. Okay, clouds. Yeah, I'm sorry, clouds. Their judgment. MAGA, Trump, and I love it. That's exactly what it is. And we're not going anywhere. MAGA is here to stay. Their party is on their way out. Let's go and say it for what it is. Mr. Brewski says they call MAGA a cult when they're the ones. They're the ones who what's that? Let me see, where are my glasses at here? Demonize all and says the same 6 things, right? In lockstep, right? No matter what. And look at this. Demonize. Yep, there it is. Yep, I know what you meant. Daniel says, enjoy the time left you have MAGA. What is this? Daniel Garrett says, oh, so how is gerrymandering is bad and things? Well, here's the thing about it, though. The Dems started it, right? They set it up. They the ones that started it, right? That's the thing about it. But here it is, though. It's still, to me, it's, I really don't like the gerrymandering, right? But the Dems started it in the first place. Let's not get too far off site with that, man. I already went over that stuff yesterday, right? Mr. Brewski says, MAGA hurts, but the leftist cultists fees. Yeah. And this is the thing about it, though. The left is a cult for sure, because you got to be a minority group to be a cult. And this is exactly what it is. You know, LOL. You guys sink a little lower, please. Daniel, you are part of the racist party, which is the left, Democrats, and which is the SPLC. And I'm going to go out on that to say that because it impact my community major. You ain't never set foot in the ghetto. You was enjoying your own life out there in the suburbs. In fact, you and your party had a lot to do with it. And that's who I'm blaming, you hypocrite, you. You know what I'm saying? I know this for a fact. While you over there living the middle-class lifestyle with your 2 and 3 kids in picket fence, you got a party, right, that have been hoodwinked and bamboozled, that never had that opportunity. Even with your group, which is what under the, we have to go back in time a little bit, 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson, the Great Society, right, that have destroyed the family nucleus of the mother and father. This is why a lot of black women don't even rock with us today, because you got welfare, and then they also set up policies to exclude the black men out of the house. Facts. And this was a major situation that have happened, right? So don't sit up in here, Daniel, and try to play moral compass when in fact your party is the major reason why we don't have, I ain't gonna say don't have, but the major reason why the ghettos and stuff are created. They never gave a damn. Now they give a damn. Trump have to send National Guards to clean up and all kind of stuff. And it's only gonna get better, but I destroyed you, Daniel, because you don't have anything. And I know I'm a little lagging right now, but the thing about it is that these people on the left are terrible. They're hypocrites. They're liars. You know what I'm saying? They never came and they never gave a damn about us, man. Most of the liberals don't give a damn about our ass, man. Business as usual, right? And they group and them are the ones that started it, man. That's a fact. You know, don't even get up here and sit up here and go there. You don't want to play that. You don't want to go down that road with me. You'll lose, right? Let me see here. Mr. Bigglesworth, right? Instead of Mrs. Buttersworth is Mr. Bigglesworth. Mr. Bigglesworth says the biggest gerrymandering of all, allowing millions of illegals, right, and to acquire more seats due to the census. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Mr. Bigglesworth. That's exactly what the plan was coming from the left, because they knew they needed the illegals to come in here, right? And then they get people in our government too, which should not be. If you're not born here as an American citizen, we don't want you in our government. We got to do away this dual citizenship and all that stuff. I'm not a big fan of this stuff at all, because it's already showing who their legions are to. Just like Somalia. Ilhan Umar is allegiance to Somali, right? That's what that is. And same thing with Taliba Rashid and all the rest of them, man. Sri Tanadar, their India is India first, man. We got a lot of these Indians in here. Who do they hire first? I got friends that are engineers. Indian people hire Indian people, right? They look out for each other. And the same thing for the rest of them, man. Look at this, you know? That's why we getting them out of here, man. Get them out. Let me see here. Mr. Brewski says Democrats were the master of gerrymandering. Yeah, absolutely. Virginia was the only state they haven't. So yeah, they figured they're gonna try Virginia. And had it would have worked, right? They were gonna pick up, 10-1 seats. That means the Republicans would have lost a lot of seats. They were going to try to pack the house. This is how bad it is, right? How desperate they are, right? But the judge says, he had to block it. And now it's in a litigation, but we know we're going to win it because what they did is unconstitutional. It always been unconstitutional. So we just cooking you DMs on the left once again, right? Derek says, weird. SPLC goes after people like Trump. No, they don't. What are you talking about, Derek? Open up your eyes, man. Get off those blunts, man. I know you a brother. brother. Get off that, man. That's a lie. Goes after people like Trump and DOJ, causing them to they like James Comey and what. I'm just joking with you, Derek. I'm just joking with you, man. I thought you had me right now. I'm just joking with you. I like to tease you a little bit, but yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. The SPLC do go after people like Trump. I'm just teasing you, though, Derek. Just like that. I gotta put a little joke in. Sometimes I get, but it is what it is. They do go after people like Trump. They go after Christian nationalists. Anybody, they went after Muslim, any Muslim organization that's rah-rahing, that stand with Trump as well. They go after them too. These are the people here. You're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? They do go after people, right? Innocent people, right? The SPLC is one of the worst, man. $700 million. Big old war chest of money, right? War chest of money they done built up, right? To push their propagandas and to push their operations, man. That's why on the left, they don't have no defense on this, man. They come in here trying to talk about, we ain't talking about Trump. We talking about the SPLC. That's exactly what it is, man. Boy, I'm just teasing you. Mr. Bigglesworth says, I like the bald eagle. It's just a shame that it's infested with parasites and the shape of the rhino donkeys and their NGOs and things. Yeah, these old rhino jackass party, man, and these rhinos, man, Republican in name only, man, they ain't about ish, looking like Beetlejuice. Is that anything to say to your mama, man? Don't disrespect your mama like that, man. Your mama does not look like Beetlejuice, man. Don't call your mama the Beetlejuice. Daniel says nothing more shameful than seeing nothing more shameful of seeing a white racist demo KKK rat champion how great the SPLC is, man. That's what's more shameful, right? That's the thing about it. And you know I got you, man. I've been checkmated you, Daniel. You're not even on my level, man. I destroy you just on the black issues alone, man. You really want to go down this train? Do you really want to ride this train, Daniel? Because you're going to lose. You already lost. Let me see here. Can't even talk. Your mama can't talk, sir. Right? Boy, your mama can't talk. How about that? Mr. Brewski said it's a competition to the left logic. Has nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. This is the type of stuff here, man. This is what we're dealing with. This is what they're dealing with. People come in on my channel, my lives, because they love what I have to say. We talk about real factual things. I don't see you, Daniel, coming up here making your channel. Oh, yeah. No, you know why? Because you don't have one. I forgot about that. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Let me see what Derek has to say. Also, just the fact that Dems tried to ban decades of gerrymandering. Republican voted against it. Went after Texas, right? So Dems fought back. I know Trump doesn't like people who fight back. Yeah. Look at this. Boy, I tell you, man. Let's see, one question at a time. Let the man answer. I'm going to try to do my best that I can. I appreciate it, though, Mm-hmm. I like to troll. I know you do, Daniel. Listen, I troll as well, too. But I troll with facts. That's the difference with myself, I'm not taking personally with you because I don't know you, just like you don't know me, right? This ain't personal. By all means, I have a great time in here for the most part of it. But no, it's not personal. Not personal. But what I'm saying is, overall, whether you trolling or not, everybody, have a great time, have a great moment. But, yeah, not crashing out. All upset, slamming stuff. Oh, why you say that? Some people get animated like that, but no, man, when you got facts and stuff, you know how it go, man. You shouldn't have to, be in that thing. But why are we talking about gerrymandering when we should be talking about the SPLC? We're talking about, this is a organization that got caught funding racist terrorist groups in America. Aryan Nation, motorcycle, Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Ku Klux Klan. Why are we talking about gerrymandering? Right? Let's stay on focus here. That's why I'm going to read all this other stuff. We got to talk about what is at stake here. We're talking about, this is serious too, because they got an open and shut case. They followed the money and they found out where the money was going. $700 million, right? To fund these people. These people, that's why they showed up in North Carolina, where that woman got ended up getting run over and all that, though. They had a lot to do with that, right? Then they try to put it on the Proud Boys and all the rest of this stuff. No. There was Aryan Ku Klux Klan members that showed up over there, man. Wasn't that Charlotte? I remember watching it on TV. They showed up and showed out. Oh, my goodness, right? Okay, what's that? I'm gonna just say born in America. I think that's what you try to say. Yeah, born in America, baby. You know what I'm saying? Born in America. He says, Daniel says here, man, he hates it, man. This is what racists do. Racist says, listen to this guy. You can't tell his education because he does not extend enough in high school. See, this is a racist thing that he says right here, because he want to put black folks in the pot. You notice with liberals, they want to put you in this box. He want to try to say because of my education. Listen, no, I haven't, graduated from college, but I graduated from high school. But you can't try to belittle me, Daniel, because you show your racist intent coming in here, right? This is what the liberals do. I know all the liberal games, man. Are you just mad because this black man is kicking your white ass? That's what you upset about. How about that, Daniel? This black man is kicking your white ass. How about that? How you like that now, huh? Oh, where my thing at? Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. Where my thing at? Hold on for a minute. Oh, Daniel. Oh, it's gonna be okay, Daniel. Oh man, it's okay, Daniel. Little crybaby. You're gonna be okay, Daniel. You're gonna be okay. Oh, listen to that. Oh man. Then he tried to say Republicans. He put it on me personally. That was a personal attack. And I'm not offended by it, but this is what they do. They want to say hi, your education and everything. That's supposed to basically the modern day racists to try to put this, ninja back in his place, This old uppity ninja talking to me. I'm a white man. How dare him, with his lack of education and everything. Oh my goodness, boy, I tell you, Daniel is more tolerant than your pathetic crying and diversive tactics like a Nazi. Boy, I tell you, man. You hate Daniel. The feeling is mutual about you liberals. Let me see here. Daniel says, let me see here. Very common for Republicans. Highly uneducated people. See, that's the thing about it, though, Now, you can't go and try to clean that up. I know what you meant to say about me, you know what I'm saying? But this highly uneducated person, though, has a show which people do come out and watch and listen and things like that. Race is not a factor here. But you notice that these guys try to make race a factor. They sure do. He's the one right here. Because the thing about it is that the SPLC is on trial here, right? All this other stuff we don't even care about. They have been funding the Ku Klux Klan, right? The Aryan Nation and all the rest of them, the motorcycle clubs, all the rest of them. We got a lot of money, right? And then when we look at the Dems, they're all intertwined with each other, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I already went over this stuff earlier. That's the thing about it. Classy stuff. Yeah, Daniel, you just don't like it because I'm getting in yo, you know what. I'm getting in yo, you know what. Mr. Brucey says, common for crybabies to complain about other bases on politics online. Yeah, that's what they do, man. That's what they do. It's all good. Let's see here. I'm gonna make Daniel famous, man, in a minute. I'm gonna make him famous. Let me see here. It's the way the Democrats do. Yeah, this is what they do, man. yeah, they always love talking about how unintelligent or how uneducated they are. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it. And like I said, liberals hate blacks, conservatives more, because he can't back me up on being a racist, right? And this is the thing about it, where it will work with a lot of, let's say, conservative whites. By me being a conservative black, it don't work on me. So you got to use another tactic, try to insult you on your education, try to get me out of character and want him to hack me to say, see, that's what they try to do. They try to play that game, man. But he has nothing, though. That's the thing about it. It's so funny. It's so funny, boy, I tell you. And then this person says, Trump, $20.28 per gallon. You let me know when you see that, because right now you're just making ish up. You're just making the ish up, right? How many times do Republicans need to F the country or whatever? How many Democrats need to F the country? They've been doing it longer. Trump has been cleaning this stuff up. Your party, your failed president, Joe Biden, basement Obama, then Obama, right? Your country, your party has a history. And once I say it again, look at the black community, right? Look at all of the lies and stuff they have done on the left, man. This is what we call, man, it's so darn bad. Then they're not going to win these midterms at all, right? They were trying to celebrate with Virginia and all this other stuff. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, though, man. Yep, we're going to shut this voting, these mail-in ballot crap stuff, we're going to shut all of this down. Ron DeSantis said, come on into Florida if you want to. Oh, Hakeem Jeffries, man. Boy, I tell you, man, ain't nobody scared. Hakeem Jeffries, are you serious, man? Boy, I tell y'all, man, we are in the winning circle, ladies and gentlemen. The winning circle, man. Yeah, boy, talking about these people don't have a job, man. Boy, you just fishing, Daniel, man. Everything that you saying right now, man. Look at it. Look at him now. Notice that. I got him triggered now. Look at it. Look at it. He got the F word. Look at him. Look at it. The F are the same names here every day, you know? That's what you see, Daniel. I told you, I got you. I got you, you know? Because what I have to say resonate with more Americans than what you have to say. Everybody see the BS coming from the left. They see the BS of how your party destroyed my community. They see the BS how you invited illegals in this country, and then you set up programs and set-asides that was designed for the American people. This is the reason why they rock with me and not you. That's why. I can answer that question real easy though, Daniel. You don't have anything. Anybody that can talk about these other topics that's not, we talking about solutions here. This is why we all voted for Trump. We didn't care about his personality per se, as long as he can do the job, and that's what we voted for. I voted for this, right? We stand for this. 77 million plus voted for Trump. Your girl Kamala never had a chance. They had to lie with those numbers, but it was just too big to rig, and we're going to be too big to rig in the midterms again. So once again, though, Daniel, you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir, is what that is, you know?
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
That's exactly what it is, boy, I tell you. The first Avenger, you know? Oh, man, the first. Oh, he says MAGA equals proof you can't fix stupid. If we're so stupid, though, we're doing a hell of a job kicking the DM in their ass. You don't control the House. You don't control the Senate, right? Let alone we stopped Virginia, right? There's a judge that stopped that. You have nowhere to go, right? That's just how it is. And then the SPLC, this is another blow. Dems, y'all been losing ever since Trump in inauguration in 2025, January. Look at that. Look at that. Y'all been on the decline ever since. Name me something that the Democrats have won, right? We got the big, beautiful bill going through. Y'all tried to block that. Then we found another way around. Did y'all hear the news? How the shutdown is actually, we found a way around that. You guys are losing, man. And when it is being official, then we're going to talk about that. So once again, you have nothing, right? Boy, I tell you.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir, right? Exactly. Mr. Brewski says, Daniel, it's the same could be said about you as much time you are on here crying. Boy, I tell you, man. Let me see here. Daniel is the same thing as you said. As much as you said. Yeah. Daniel, you've been on here crying and crying and crying. Look at you. You got Daniel. Here it is, though. He says, I'm here for 5. Here's the F word. effing minutes while I push ish out of my. Look at this. Boy, you know, I got him, man. I got him triggered, boy. I get him triggered, y'all. I get him triggered. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let me see here. MAGA, the lefties, cultists' biggest obsession. Yeah, it sure is, though, Mr. Brewski. It sure is. But here's the thing, though. I'm about to really, you know how I do, man. I got to go in my clown hour. Hold on for a minute. I got to do my official clown hour thing, though, too. Hold on for a minute, y'all, because it wouldn't be right if I go throughout this whole live stream and not do the clown hour thing, though. So let's go ahead and do that here, where we are. Okay, here we are. Oh, my goodness. There we are, you know. I left Gamala out, but I got another one for her too. Nobody gets left out. This is what we call the the Democrat Circus. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, and all its colorful clown outfits. Boy, look at this stuff. Boy, don't you like that, Daniel? And the left, Daniel in the left. This is how we look at you guys. Boy, look at this, man. Let me want to move this down so you can see me. All right. Man. Boy, look at AOC while doing the handstands once again, boy. Oh, my goodness. Ain't that something? Oh, man. Look at him. Oh, my gosh. Look at him, boy. Well, so let me start with the left and right. We got, you already know, here it is right here. Gavin Knucklehead Newscomb on the left. Maxine Wicked West Waters. We also have Barack Obama. Oh, my goodness, boy, the arch deceiver and the great, the fallen Messiah. And then we also have, who is that? I see you there, Bernie. Yeah, that's Bernie. No, that's not Bernie. Who is that? Oh, yeah, that's Adam Shifty Shift. Sorry about that. And then we got over here looking like Beetlejuice. They got Hillary Clinton, boy. Then you got Chuck Schumer. Boy, look at Chuck. I see you, Chuck. I see you, boy. I see you. Look at Chuck Schumer, y'all. Boy, and look at Hakeem Jeffries, boy. Looking like the clown gesture. Look at him. Boy, I tell you. Is that Bernie? Oh, they're oligarchy. They're oligarchy. Yeah, that's all you know how to say, though. Look at him. Boy, I tell you. Then we also have here, who is that? Oh, yeah, I see you, Pocahontas. Pocahontas. No, you lie. You ain't no Indian. You are a white woman. Always trying to steal somebody's identity, boys. It ain't bad enough you stole land in this stuff too, boy. I tell you. Now look at it. look at AOC, boy. She up there on. Look at her, boy. Look at AOC, boy. Look at her, boy, up there, man. You know. Oh man. And this is how we see you guys, man, on the left. Boy, this is how we see the Democrats. Look at them. Boy, look at this here. They just love it when I show this. Boy, this is my Picasso, man. This is my actual Picasso, man. This is the 3-ring circus here, man. We got jesters and fools and liars and cheats. Look at them, man. Right? Do you see this? Daniel, I should go. I'm gonna make Daniel famous, man. Daniel Garrett. The next time you come in my live stream, I'm going to take your photo and I'm going to put you in a clown outfit and put you right in here. I told him I'd make him famous. Man, I'm going to make Daniel famous, man. That's what I want to do. I just felt like doing it, though, too. Right? Because he's been out here talking all this nonsense, trying to pump up the left. It ain't going to work. The SPLC is, man, y'all are finished. Right? Look at this. Don't y'all love that? Look at that one. Boy, look at it. Oh, look at Obama. Oh, man. Oh, man. All too easy. Oh my goodness, boy, look at this. Oh my gosh, this is the clown show, boy. The Democrat clown show. Thank you for the likes. Y'all know y'all love it. The Democrat clown show where we clown the Democrats over here. I always have a special segment over here for them. And this is one of my ones here too that I like to show. Now those silver bracelets though, we're going to see Obama, right? We're going to see him in those silver handcuffs, those bracelets. In fact, let me go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and give you a little bit of little bit of an inspiration though, you know. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull up Obama though, you know what I'm saying? Get a little bit of inspiration though. I'm going to make Daniel famous next time, man. Daniel come in here next time, man. You're going to see him in that clown gesture. I'm going to have him doing all kind of crazy stuff. Man, I'm going to make you famous, man, messing around with me. Thank you for the likes, too. I'm going to make him famous, though. Watch and see. I will do it. How much you bet, Daniel, I'll do it? I'll do it. I'm like Trump. I'm a man of my word, man, and I will do it. I'm a man of my word. And get great glee out of it too. I get great happiness by doing it. Hold on, man. Let me go and pull up. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Give me 1 minute. He said, I don't know how people coming in here listening to this dude. Oh, there it is. I found it right here. Boy, oh, look at that, boy. Look at that, y'all. Y'all see? Boy, this is going to come to fruition. I remember when Trump did this AI. Yep. Obama, right? The fallen messiah, right? And the arch deceiver. And it's getting closer and closer where he's being them silver bracelets, man. Right? Accountability is coming, Obama. You just wait and see. It's the crimes against America, you know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you. We're talking about $1 billion hate machine by the SPLC exposed. That's exactly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, that's exactly what it is. The hate machine, the hate map. I showed y'all the hate map earlier, didn't I? The hate that hate can produce, boy. The hate that hate produce. That's what it is. Yep. The hate that hate produce. Yep. Not the hate report, but the hate report, right? Yeah, shout out to the hate report. That's Jesse Lee in there. The hate report, you know? I tell y'all, man, it's just all too easy. Yeah, Daniel, all too easy, Daniel. All too easy. Let me go ahead and pull up that one again. Where did I put it at here? SBLC. Hold on, I got it, y'all. There it is. Look at that hate map. This is what they've been up to. They have to explain this stuff in court. Grand jury. They got to explain this stuff. They have been busted. Thank you for the likes. The SPLC exposed the $1 million hate machine. You know, look at this. Boy, I tell you. Not a decency in their bone at all. Look at this. Can I make it a little bigger? No, that's about it. This is what it is. This is what we've been talking about all day, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, this is exactly what we've been talking about. Right? The bottom line, strong ideology, right? Alignment, personnel, donor overlap with broader Democrat left, plus the political spending favoring Democrats, right? Democrats. That's what it's been designed to do, man. The devil is a Democrat, right? Boy, I tell you. I mean, I got poke fun at, hold on for a minute. I got poke fun at Daniel again. You know I do this all out of love, Daniel. I just do it out of love, not malice and hate, but I do it out of love. What is Daniel, y'all?
Beta!
Yep, sorry though, Daniel. I had to use Jesse Lee there for a minute. Peterson, you know? Boy, I tell you.
Beta!
Yep, he's a beta male, all right. It's sad though, isn't it? Oh, man, thank you for the likes, man. I tell you. So the SPLC, right, has long been viewed as a left-leaning organization. It positioned itself as a civil rights watchdog, but critics, including some on the left, argue it's become a partisan tool to smear the center and right groups. This is what their critics are saying, trying to block for these people. They went after traditional Christians, right? Immigration skeptics, right? And called them hate groups. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Right? This aligned it naturally with the Democratic messaging, right? This is exactly what it is. Right? This is what it is, though, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I tell you. So, looking at this here, and let's go down through it again, and things. So this is where I love people like Daniel to come in here, right? Because you can't hide against the facts. You can't stop the facts, right? The SPLC was founded in 1971. That's the same year when we came off of the gold standard. Oh, my goodness. By the civil rights lawyer Morris Dees and Julian Bond. Their early work was generally impressive. They took on the Ku Klux Klan and won major cases that bankrupted the violent racist organization in 1970s and the 80s, right? They were widely suspected across the political spectrum. Even today, if you were to look at the old Klan cases, it's easy to see why they built such a strong brand. They raised huge sums of money from donors who believed they were still fighting the same fight. But here, right? But here's where the story changes. By the 1990s, and especially after 9/11, the SPLC began expanding its definition of hate dramatically, right? What started the fight? Actually, the violent, right, slowly morphed into labeling mainstream conservative and even some of the classical liberal positions as hate, right? Boy, I tell you, man, right? The hate map and labeling machine, this brings us to their powerful tool, the hate map. Every year, the SPLC releases a list of hate groups and hate incidents. Sounds serious, right? Look at the number of the recent years, right? They've listed over 1,000 active hate groups that sound terrifying until you dig in. And then they count like single person or a group that hasn't done anything in years. Local chapters of the same organization counted multiple times. Conservative Christian organizations that simply believe marriage is between a man and a woman. How is that a hate group? But this is what the SPLC does. Immigration enforcement groups, that would be ICE, and others. Even some Jewish and Muslim organizations they agree with. So they are shaking the stick, pointing, and calling these people the racists, when in actuality, they are the ones that are racist. Because they are the ones that have been funding the Ku Klux Klan. They are the ones that have been funding the Aryan Nation and all the rest of them, right? This motorcycle gangs and stuff. You know, this is what has happened. This is what's been going on. Boy, I tell you, you know, there's a clear pattern that's going on, right, with the SPLC, a progressive world view on immigration, race and gender, or Islam. You're at the risk of being added on the list, right? Anybody that speaks out, right? The Southern Poverty Law Center is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. At one point, they had over $700 million in assets. Yet they still send out desperate sounding fundraising emails claiming they're always on the verge of running out of money, which is a ploy because Democrats do the same thing, right? This is exactly what it is. What is this? Who does this sound like? What did it look like? Right? There it is right here. Nothing against this. Nothing, nothing, nothing. What about the SPLC? Has parked large sums of money in the Cayman Islands, right? Offshore accounts. A poverty law center set up as a USC 3 or whatever, which is a non-profit organization, right? They set this stuff up, man. They are the ones, right? They are the ones, ladies and gentlemen, that we are dealing with right now, right? This is exactly what it is. Nobody got to be in here making this stuff up, you know? The 50, I'm trying to really say it, the 501c3, which is a non-profit organization that they have registered under, right? The 501c3, right? So how can a what we call like a charitable organization send money to who? These racist type of Klansmen type of stuff? That would get you kicked out automatically. And that's what they got them on, right? Who all oppose the actual neo-Nazis, Klansmen, and violent extremists, right? These are the people right here. They are the ones that are hate. The ones, right? Oh, man. Boy, I tell you, man. So look at the map, if you can see it really good. This is my thumbnail pick as well. This is what we've been dealing with, right? Besides the bozos and clowns. But this is what we've really been dealing with right here. This right here, ladies and gentlemen. The SPLC, one of the most wickedest racist organizations that fund these racists in America, right? Look at them. Boy, I tell you. This is what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what we're dealing with. You know? But like it is, though, they're going down, ladies and gentlemen, slowly but surely. We got so much of evidence because Russia hoax, right? Man, look at that. We got Spygate, which is all part of that, Pizzagate, tampering, trying to oust a duly sitting president in 2016. Then they stole the election in 2020. That's another thing, right? Then with that COVID stuff, right? And the mandates they try to put on the people, right? Look at all the stuff that they have done, man. They have done a lot of wicked, dirty stuff. What's the other timeline? Let's go down the list, though. And these some of the other ones that they have done, right? Look at it. BLM, Summer of Love, right? No Kings, right? This is all what we call people, right? That are what we call, when you are a person that's inciting, right? Treason, insurgency. This is all coming from them, right? We have so many things that we can talk about with this evil leftist party, jackass party along with it. We got so many things, man, that we can cite out and call out. They don't have a defense against none of this stuff. You know, Summer of Love and all this, the colorless revolution and all the rest of the stuff, man. You know, open society, right? George Soros, a lot of people, man, that they've been funding to carry out their campaigns. Then you got to pay them, right? Just like they pay their influencers that come on here and saying all this propaganda stuff. Then look at the lying fake media too. So there's a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, I done finished cooking once again. I just love cooking the left, and I love cooking these SPLC, man. This hate machine, this map and everything. This is the hate machine, not the hake, but the hate machine. This is it right here. Boy, I tell you. But I appreciate y'all for showing up and showing out. I'm about to get ready to shut this down, man, and things. But you guys showed up. You know, I had to cook Daniel once again, no offense. But I had to get him, you know, and I got him, you know. Yeah, what is it? Shark says SPLC is absolutely correct. Yeah, nobody making this stuff up. He knows it. Mate, you have brought into false BS. What you talking about? Are you from Australia, mate? Hey, mate, are you from Australia, mate? How you going to tell me when you don't even live over here, mate? You know, you don't even live in America, mate. You have to worry about your own stuff, mate. You know, hell to speak Australia, mate. Yeah. Want to say down here, I'm down here with my Joey, you know, and some Shaylas, you know. That's supposed to be a woman of the night. It's a Sheila, by the way, and things, though. But other than that, though, yeah. Just over here talking about some stuff, man. That's why I say they don't have nothing against. And then Ronster says the Soros family is evil. That would be George Soros and Alex Soros funding the riots. George Soros is a good little Nazi. Absolutely. I would stand on that. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. These people have no idea, man. Boy, I tell you. Look at this. Pretty hate machine. You got to say, I love doing it, the Australian accent. Pretty hate machine. Yeah, they got their accent, man, you know. Hell to speak Australian, mate. Yeah, and down here in the down under. I love the accent, though, man. I even like that group called Men at Work, man, you know. A veggie man with sandwich, you know. How you say that, veggie man with sandwich? Boy, I heard it was salty, though. You know all about it, because I don't know. I can't eat that, though. Yeah, veggie man with sandwich, you know. Man, I come from the land down under. Oh, yeah, the land down under, man. Denise, boy, my girl Denise. Hey, baby. Let me go ahead and do my heart. That's for Denise. That's Denise right there. Boy, Denise. Boy, there you go, Denise. Yep. So many Marxist trolls in here. What's new, though, Denise, right? Who loves the SPLC? I call them out, though, you know, don't I? And they love child, right? I know, right? The KKK. Ignorant on parade trolls, right? They are some of the most ignorant of them all. They come in here blocking this stuff, I tell you. You know what I'm saying? Klan has been dead for 30 years. But, yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing about it, though, too. We're talking about that they fund these groups. They're still around, man. They pull them out. They control them. The Klan is still around. The Klan ain't never gone anywhere. The Klan should be gone, though, really. But here's the thing, though. I mean, when you got blacks killing each other and stuff, you really don't, the Klan don't really have to come out very much. When you got another group of people doing it, unfortunately, but true. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to need to come out here and all that type of stuff, but they still exist. And this group should not exist, just like we shouldn't have gangs. None of these groups should exist. Not in America. We shouldn't have to deal with this stuff. But they allow this stuff because these are their foot soldiers, right? These are the people that keep these communities under siege, and they get money for it because they say, yeah, the crime is escalating and out of control. They keep pocketing their money coming from the left. They've never been about fixing anything in America. They always over budget, always spending everything, right? It really is. Yep, they're a real terrorist organization. But you're right, though. It is a terrorist organization, and they have to be classified just like Antifa. You know what I'm saying? They have a history, lynching, burning, and all this other kind of stuff, right? Just because we don't see it as much today don't mean that it ain't going on. You know what I'm saying? Not very much. You know, let me go ahead and take that down so y'all can see me. There I am. Okay. So, yeah. So, other than that, though, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, though, man. I got to get to work. You know what I'm saying? Living in the past. No, I'm not living in the past, though, man. I'm just saying you have to know the history of these people. Remember, I'm not one of these crybabies talking about, oh, yeah, the Klan. We're talking about the SPLC. And who they were funding and stuff. This is we're talking about them. Anybody scared of the Klan and all this other stuff like that? I'm not walking around in fear and all this other stuff. We're in America. But we're saying that the Democrats, and they're in locks, they're basically interlocked with each other. 1865. Klan was first invented by the Dixiecrat Democrats. That's why Tom McDonald, the rapper, says, the devil is a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Which is true. But other than that, let me get on out of here, though, man. I got to go on and shut it down and stuff. Man, it's been real good having y'all to show up. Man, Denise, I appreciate you coming in, though, in the last minute there. We over here talking about these DMs over here. Look at them. Look at them, boy. I tell you, man. Look at them, boy. I just love clowns. Boy, look at that. They're going to be all right. Yeah, a clown show, boy. The Democrat clown show, boy. Look at this. Boy, y'all see him. Yep, great song. I appreciate it. Thank you. I would like to use the clown one, but you know. I'm going to get one day, though, man. I'm going to get one day, man. KC says, you speaking the truth, brother, man. I can't understand why someone, or you meant to say why so many blacks vote Democrat. Yeah, we know why, though, too, man. Ever since this fake civil rights bill that went into law, and which is not the original civil rights bill that Martin Luther King was stood about. But they're fixated on that. Also, they like all the Welfare Act and other things. These are things that pacify many blacks. And they think by having this stuff, they think they're winning, which they actually turn a group of people from being independent to being dependent. So therefore, it's like they only taught blacks they just give them a fish. They never educated them on how to catch a fish. When you learn how to fish, you eat for a lifetime. When someone gives you a fish, you only eat for a day. And this is the mentality of most of the so-called blacks in the so-called black community. This is exactly what it is, man. KC says, let me see here. Man, let me see. KC says, thank you, dear brother, for doing what you do. I appreciate it, man. I'm going to have to post that, man. I be trying, though, man. I try to get out here and do what I try. I try to do what I can to do, man. I got to do what I do to try to educate, as much of them as I possibly can. I do a lot of education. Try to. Blacks have gained nothing voting Democrat. Mike, you're absolutely right. Where have blacks ever benefited voting Democrat? KC says, yes, correct. We never have. We never benefited. Look at the inner cities, the ghettos, the hoods. In all these cities, they got a freeway that drives right through it. People in the suburbs don't even have to see that stuff. Not really. You on the freeway, including myself. We just drive right through the hood. Nothing gets done. All this was done purposely. If you look at the time span when all these riots happened in these 10 major cities across the United States, it's all the same shit. Excuse my French, but it's the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Pookie, we got Pookie, Man, and Nene. Pookie and Ray says, MAGA is going to, utterly collapse after November. No, they won't. I called you Pookie. I meant to say Pocket. Sorry about that. It just looked like Pookie to me. I can't find my glasses today, but that's all right. So Pocket says MAGA is going to utterly collapse after November and things. That's what he absolutely thinks. But have you been watching the news, Pocket? We got Russia, right? Obama is on the brink of being arrested, right? His presidential immunity is not going to protect him for treason in trying to oust a duly elected president. He interfered with the process. Instead of just sitting back, he set up a coup with Clapper, Comey, right? Angela, what was that? Rice and all the rest of them, right? Susan Rice, Hillary Clinton, Biden. There's others that was in there too, right? Then we have to talk about the other thing, Spygate. They spied on Trump's campaign, right? And all this other stuff. Pizzagate, what about that one? Right? Bill Gates, right? All these gates, right? Then what about the fact of them in 2020 when they stole the election. The election, it's already been already a known fact, public information, that the 2020 election has been stolen from Trump. We're just going right down the list on some things that they have been doing. This is what we call an insurgency coming from the left. And then this here is another major blow from the SPLC. You can't deny this type of stuff. You can't hide it. You can't defend against it. They were, caught funding the Ku Klux Klan, the Aryan Nations, and the motorcycle racist groups and other organizations, right? This is why we always say that the Democrats, right, are the KKK, and this is exactly what it is. It goes back to 1865, abolishment of slavery. Jealous whites, liberal whites, was mad because their slaves were now free, thanks to Abraham Lincoln, right? So what did they do? They put on these white sheets and masks, right? And they've been a terrorist ever since in America, right? Since you won't call it out, I'm going to call it out. How can the Dems come back from this? You tried to redistrict Virginia. That was blocked by who? A judge. I got the person judge name, but that's not important right now. The main thing is that it was blocked. If you think they're going to try to redistrict Florida, it's not going to happen. Your party is on the brink of self-destruction, and it's caused by their own hand. There's a lot of people that have left the Democrat Party because they see the hypocrisy, they see the lies, they see the cheating. And then what about the illegal immigration that they brought over here as well, too? You got illegal aliens that they allowed to come in here. Then you had them to vote in our voting process. That didn't set too well with real Americans, right? It pissed us off, right? Then what about the set-aside programs that was given to these illegal aliens? What about the sanctuary cities, right? And they were running amok over there. Lake and Riley and these other angel families their children would have been around today, but their children are not. You know why? Because the Democrats have failed on their job, right? And this is absolutely correct. So I done named off so many things that the Democrats were responsible for doing. Not one time, right, that you have ever taken accountability for your own party. This is why you lose, and this is why you're going to lose the election, man. Holler at your boy, man. I'm tired of cooking these clowns, man. Try to come up in here and cape and try to protect. Y'all can't even get past the SPLC. That's a major hit to the Democrats. It goes into our point why we call the Dems as being a demo KKK rats for what they really are. And look at the black community. Your party have destroyed, undeveloped, and what we have these hoods and ghettos, right? And you got crime, violence, and drugs. What do? You drive right from downtown to the suburb, all right? None of your party gave a damn about the black community, which is the icing on the cake, boy, I tell you. Let them cook. Boy, I can cook all by myself with these clowns. You don't have I done gave up I'm over here just rambling stuff off my head of what they damn wicked party has done. The hell with the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? You're the ones that hate the Constitution. You're the ones that want to take our gun rights away, right? And it's not going to happen. Let no one infringe on our rights. I don't give a damn about you thumbing it down, but you don't have nothing for me once again. Just like Daniel don't have nothing for me, right? I'm going to make you famous, though, because you may mess around and see a meme. I may create a cartoon or a meme about you. How about that? You know, I know they're going to go 8, but if they do. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, man. And they over here caping for this stuff, right? And voting against their best interests, especially the blacks, man, that don't know any better. They act like the ghettos are the way it go. It ain't the way it go. It was failed policies, left-leaning failed policies. This is the reason why we don't have what we have today, right? Crime, violence, drugs, prostitution, holler at me, right? They don't, you think these liberal white liberals give a damn about the black community? They don't. We got a first time, got a real president that we elected, not selected, that's at least trying to do the damn thing. What has the Dems do to curtail all this violence? Nothing, right? What have you did to try to stop the drugs? Nothing. It was Trump that had to do it. He had to shut down the border, right? What else did Trump have to do? Stop the influx of fentanyl into America, because it was killing Americans by the dozen. 100,000 plus died to fentanyl, right? Oh my goodness, man. That's why I say I love cooking the Democrats. When you come in here, you will be cooked, right? We're not going to play these games and these Trump games. We're going to get in the Dems' ass, boy. That's what we're going to do. In that, how they, boy, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get all up in there, boy. Look at this. These are clowns, man. I don't respect their leadership because there is no leadership. These are clowns, right? They don't have no answer. That old stupid low IQ ass Hakeem Jeffries supposed to be the brightest. They over in the brinks of kicking him out of the party, man. And I'm happy too. Boy, you listen how this guy sound. The sinister eyes, lifeless look in the eyes. Yeah, this is who we supposed to be afraid of. Are you kidding me? You know, want to use our terms, fuck around, F around and find out. Yeah, you effed around and you found out. Right? Because they're on the verge of kicking him out of the party, man. You know what I'm saying? They so unhappy with this dude, and he's a clown and a meme himself, a walking meme and a clown, right? Oh my goodness. But this is a very fitting. Where else you gonna get this from, right? Who goes harder, right? Do they go harder on me or do I go harder on them? Right? KC says yes, correct. Right? Mike says Democrats only care about blacks every 2 and 4 years, election time. Exactly. They shouldn't have fixed their mouth to talk anything about Trump when they got a history of this SPLC type stuff, right? History of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm outraged because of the hypocrisy coming from the left, right? We didn't gain anything from this. What did we gain? Nothing but lies, constant lies, being lied to. Being manipulated. Look at the so-called poor black leaders, right? Poverty pimping and all that stuff. You know they're all on the same ticket. You think they give a damn? They don't want things to be better, right? They want it to stay where it is so they can justify their job, their meaningless job. You know, a lot of these black preachers and civil rights leaders and these old religious, they're all in the same. Poverty pimping. Grifters. That's all they do. Right? That's exactly what it is. Thank you for the likes. That's all we have is poverty pimping, right? You mean to tell me is that all we got, right? They're the only ones walking around here talking about a black leader, black clergy. Ain't nobody else talking about a white clergy or Asian leader. They're the only ones got to look to a leader. Listen, I listen to myself, man. I ain't listening and looking to no black leader. You got to lead yourself. Real men stand up and lead themselves. You don't need no damn leader. No black leader tell me at all, right? Look at how they fell down on the job, right? They always talking about racism, but they don't give a damn about the community that many of them come out of, right? They ain't never have a problem. Look at the over 70% of black women single with children that they started with the welfare system, right? The Welfare Act of 65. And look where we are today. Boy, I tell you, man, you talking about women that got 2, 3, 4 baby mamas. They won't address it. Oh, that make me look racist. You know, I can address it because this is a reality in the black community. You don't even see any of these blacks that's coming in, oh, talk about Trump, but they won't look at, black or white or other, won't look at the facts in regards to what is going on in these inner cities, which has led to the SPLC. That is the real reason. They're funding hate groups for real, not these white Christian nationalists, right? Not these ones that speak out or MAGA racists when we got an actual SPLC, got caught. Follow the money. And this is what we're doing. Kash Patel, Todd Blanche, I hope you, and I know you will, we want to see arrests, the barbecue, everybody that's involved with that thing. Keep following the money because RICO laws that has been declared on the whole DNC, right? RICO laws, racketeering, right? Don't say I'm lying about it. Trump been announced that. They've been investigating the whole DNC, right? They're under investigation right now. We're going to follow that money and see what happened with that money. I already talked about the other day, right? When we talked about all that fraud and stealing under these healthcare agencies, right? That were really unlawful anyway. It was a money grab. These children wasn't in there, you know. They have a lot. These 5 major states that they got busted, don't leave that out, man. I be cooking the DMs, man, just with the facts. They don't even know where to hit because they can't defend this. You even have to have an independent journalist, Nick Shirley, and y'all can't deal with him. They even trying to get a Nick Shirley bill passed. Man, are you crazy in California? You know why? Because Nick Shirley is on his job. Something that these fake media journalists are supposed to be doing. He does a better journalist, and Nick Soros is another one. These guys and many of these independent journalists out here bringing the news. Because you know why? If people like us was created because of the lying fake media, and we got tired of it, right? We ain't running the narrative. We telling the truth. So for Daniel and others that want to know why people rock with me in this room, you know why? Because they know the truth. Just like myself. I'm not even getting paid for this. Ain't no Democrat, ain't no Republican paying me to come out here. Trump don't pay me. He don't have to. You know why? Because a real patriot stands up for the country, just joining the military, right? They do it as a patriot because they care about America, and I care about America too. This is why MAGA is winning, the Dems are losing, right? And soon we won't even have to worry about this jackass party anymore because they've been cooked. I've been hitting facts all day. What do they got? Nothing. They can't even get past the black community, right? They can't even get past what they did, their policies, right? That what they have done, right? It just makes blacks that uninformed and unaware because, again, Democrats don't educate them about their whole party. They get them on emotion. Get them worked up. That's why they come in here like Daniel and crash out. It's an emotional experience. When you emotionally charged up, you cannot accept logic, reasoning, understanding. It just doesn't go. That's why you notice with the Dems, the recipe is that they get these trigger things. They love this thing called racism. They love these things because it's in a triggering emotional thing. And once they get them all mad and get them excited up, what do? Go out here and riot, tear up their communities. Ain't that right? They burn themselves out of their own neighborhoods. They know they ain't gonna go to suburbs and do that. They had the National Guards waiting on them. Well, how is it and why is that they've been allowed to go in and destroy like Detroit, 1967 riots, burnt up, destroyed. It was white flight. White folks was moving out in the suburbs like it was 40 going north. And that's exactly what happened. Right? Exactly what happened. And this is the same sentiment or the same situation with a lot of these other damn cities. Same thing. Look at Cleveland, look at Cincinnati, look at there's a lot of Chicago, New York, right? All of them had riots. You know? Look at that. Boy, they don't have nothing for me, man. Just be kicking their ass, boy. Ooh, man. Kicking them, killing them, boy. The cult is the Democrat Party. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. You're right about that, man. These people are demented, man. They are so far gone, man. They don't have a, you know what, man. I mean, just hitting facts, man. Boy, liberals like Mrs. Murray, Mari or whatever, Yeah, she said it's the truth. Democrats, what? Liberals hate America. They can't stand America, right? Why is my thing so small? Let me go and make this up. I don't know why. What did I do here? Yeah, I gotta fix that, man. My comments is not showing up properly. Okay, I want to give you like some little credit here. And I think I done messed it up. Let me go fix it. Give me 1 minute, guys. I gotta fix that, man. You gotta get some credit here. Okay, I do it later, man. I'm about to close it down anyway. And I appreciate the likes, man. That's what I say. Just cooking these guys, man, on the left. They're no damn good, man. Just like with this SPLC. And it's going to be more and more talk about that. They in big trouble, man. The Democrats are in big, big trouble. They really are. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad because I cook you better than you trying to cook me. You know what I'm saying? I stand on facts. I came from the black community, you know, when we needed y'all most. And all you do is drive from the downtown to the suburbs on the freeway. You don't give a damn about our situations at all, though the hypocrites you are. You know, I got more respect for the Jewish folk than some of these white liberals. Because at least with some of these Jews, I had Jewish teachers, Jewish principals, and everything, though, that care more about my education than my own damn people in the inner cities. Facts, right? You know, Mr. Scott, Mr. Blumberg, Mr. Sindler. No, they're all not in the living no more for most of them, you know what I'm saying? Shoot. You know what I'm saying? They care more about our education as black folks, right? You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man, please. Boy, I tell you, man. So, yeah. So all that Jewish and anti stuff, that have failed because it doesn't work in here, you know? Yep, it doesn't work in here. They care more. Name me something where a liberal white cared about my education and everything. They didn't. Mrs. Ginsburg, Mr. Blumberg, Mr. Scott. You know what I'm saying? Man, oh, man, please, man. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you. Yeah, so I be cooking them, man. It's all good. It's all good. I cook them, you know? But I get a little passionate about it though too, you know, I really do. But yeah, man, they're upset and I just cook them. They ain't got nothing, absolutely nothing for us over here on the right. We are winning. That's why. How's that Virginia thing coming along? How is that, boy? I tell you, man. How is the Virginia thing coming on? How's that coming along though, lady? How is that on the left? How is it? How is it coming along? Huh? Got your clowns over here. Look at the clown show, man. The freak show. Oh my goodness. This is what it is. Yeah, the freak show, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we've been dealing with. Oh my goodness, boy. It's all too easy, though, I tell you. But yeah, don't get upset though, Dems. Oh man, don't get upset, Democrats. Demo KKK rats. Oh, it's okay. Oh, you can cry, bitch, and moan, but the outcome is still the same. Mm-hmm. Boy, they just upset, ain't they? Oh, it's okay. Get it out. Yeah, get it out. Yeah, get it out. It's all good. Get it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Black Guy 9 is in the house. Rhino's got, I see you, Black Guy 9 showed up. Denise showed up. You know what I'm saying? Got some of my mods in here, boy, ready to go. Locked and loaded, boy. Yeah, Black Guy 9 says facts. Yeah, man. That's all it's about, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Boy, but that's exactly what it is, though, man. We're talking about people on the left, right? And this ain't about convincing them. This is about cooking them, exposing them for the hypocrisy, right? This is what it is. Hypocrisy. The lies, right? Where is Obama's chef? And what was he cooking? Yeah, Obama's chef, though. They talked about that, too. The rumor has it, investment core, what the rumor has it that, and this is alleged, a rumor, that he found out that, we're talking about Big Mike, you know the rest. I think that's what ended up happening, though, you know. Thanks, Trump, for exposing the 1%. Yeah, exactly. Because if Trump was part of the 1%, they wouldn't be going after him, trying to attempt assassination attempt, trying to bankrupt him. They want to throw him in jail. If you part of the 1%, man, you don't get that. You don't get attacked like that. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you though, the Dems are the biggest losers, man. They are so disgusting. They got horrible policies that don't work. It just doesn't work. But what I'm going to do here, let me go ahead and do this, though. I got to get on out of here. I'm over the 3-hour mark, man. Like my producer and my marketing person, man, that does my marketing, that's my cue to go, boy. But yeah, let me go ahead and put up that sponsor thing here, though, too. Hold on for a minute. Okay, there we go. Some of you guys have already seen this before, but it's all good. Here it is. All right. So, if you are social media, right, you guys are interested in being a content creator or need help with your page, look up Mr. Ralph. There's his email down below. Mr. Ralph, his email is down below, and he will help you. No matter if you are a liberal or a MAGA person, right? He's going to help you grow your followers, tell you what you're doing wrong so you can get it right. Mr. Ralph cares about your success because your success is his success, right? That's exactly what it is, though, you know? So he helped me out tremendously. Mr. Ralph have helped me out. So this is my cue to go. Every time you see this posting up, I got to get out of here, man. I got to get to work. So yeah, so other than that, though, man, look to Mr. Ralph for all your social media needs. Wonderful. Boy, I tell you, man. Mr. Ralph. So make sure y'all jot that email down. Get in contact with Mr. Ralph. Let him know that you need some help on your social media page, right? But I got to skedaddle, man. I got to get out of here for real. But it's been fun, man. We went over, man, a 3-hour mark again, man. You always, time flies when you're having fun, as they say. So, yeah, so that's Mr. Ralph right there. And let me go ahead on and, you know how I got to do. We got to do that. Let me go ahead and get that queued up because, we got to go ahead on and do the Star Spangled Banner, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. America is a beautiful country, man. The greatest country in the world. Don't let these Dems tell you otherwise, man, because, they hate the Constitution. They hate America, always crying and whining. They take the orders from women and things like that and run around looking like the little zesty boys and all the rest of that stuff, Look at this. Thank you for the like. Let me go ahead and put that up here. Hold on. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get that up. Where's my flag at, boy? That's why y'all notice I always show the American flag of the United States of America to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Man, ain't that beautiful? Some of them don't even know how to even recite the American anthem. Ain't that sad? Man, I tell you, boy. But let me go ahead and put this other thing up, man. And one more time for the clown show, and I'm out of here, boy. Look at him, man. Ain't this horrible? Look at AOC up there doing the handstands, though, I just get out of here. All right, guys. I appreciate you, though, man, for showing up. I thank y'all so much, man. Boy, the leadership, boy, I tell you, Dottie says the leader of the Democrat Party is Satan. Yeah, that's why Tom McDonald says the devil is a Democrat, ladies and gentlemen. He is a Democrat through and through. Let me go ahead and get that on out of here. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and undo this, though. It's been wonderful. It's been great and things. Denise, Black Guy 9 showed up, my mods and things. Let me see. Do I have any of my members on here? Well, I'm going to give a special shout out before I go to my members. I got a members page in that Discord, man. I'm just testing it. And pretty soon we'll be over there for the members, Got to be a member to come over there on Discord, man, where we can chat and talk. We'll get away from a lot of these, trying trolls is what I call, and we'll be able to talk about these movies and say things of what we really can say. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have a good old time. I don't see my members in here today. I want to give a shout out to as well. Hold on for a minute. I think I do have a list of my members, and I got to give my members a shout out before I go. Just give me 1 minute, Mr. Ralph. Give me 1 minute. I know he's listening and watching. I got to give an acknowledgement. I've been meaning to do this before. Where's my members thing at? I know there's a few of them, man. Oh my goodness, boy, I tell y'all, man, I'm gonna go and pull up my members page up. Just give me one moment, because I got to give some extra acknowledgement. And some of you guys going to make it to become also a mod in things, like Mike, for instance, man, and so forth. We got a few others on here. I've been watching. Got to make some mods over here, man, because there's a channel steady growing, man. It's picking up a lot of traction now, man. Because, over here, we're all speaking the truth. It ain't just me. It's you guys, too, man. So that needs to be acknowledged as well, though. Just give me one moment here, guys. And I just want to acknowledge that. Where's my members thing at? Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Let me see here. Okay. Manage this, that. Let's see here. All right. And... all right, where's my members? Ooh, boy. I'm going to make sure I have this set up next time. I think it's community. Where is my member stuff at? All right. All right, let's see here. I think it may be over here. Where's my member page at? If I can't find it, then I'm going to get it next time for sure, man, because my members deserve to have some special acknowledgement, man, And you can be a member too, Go on the member site page there. And what's cool about it is that I have upgraded, so you'll have a cool badge avatar of the MAGA cap, that nice bright one that the Dems love so much. So when you start seeing more of these MAGA hats pop up in here, it's just going to show you how much that they love it, because that's what they come in here to see. They love MAGA. That's why I wear my MAGA hat. And you're going to have a MAGA hat next to your name as a member. And that's exactly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So don't look like I can find it right now, man. It's always the case when you're looking for something, man. Yeah. Advanced mode. But I ain't going to worry about it, though. I'll find it. I will find it. All right, guys, it's time for the Star Spangled Banner. Let's hit it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes